guy.
Going to the threes. I mean the nines. I need a mic.
What's up, boys?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hello there, friend.
Been a
Good.
minute.
Everyone looks bigger.
A little fluffier.
You guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Did you work out on Thanksgiving?
Sure did.
No.
Turkey
Oh, you
trot.
did in the morning. Turkey trot. We all did. Yeah, we all did.
I think your guys' camera's tilted. It's funny.
Oh, that looks terrible.
You just look tall. It's fine.
And we look so like we're in the dark, and
We're
you
like
look like you're in the
perfect.
light.
I love
Should I have looked a little? What's going on here? Keep talking.
it. Okay.
What are you gonna do? What are you doing? Got a laptop?
It was a laptop.
It's made of wood, real sturdy.
Wood. Eric, what'd you do for Thanksgiving? Did you cook?
Just hung out at the house. Yeah, made turkey.
You made a turkey?
JoJo's first turkey. We've like pureed the turkey a little bit
Oh,
for
for her? Oh,
There's
wow.
mashed potatoes,
Okay.
and she's loving that. It's like
Does that
her
look straight to you?
first meat.
Yeah, sure.
Looks good.
Better?
Better.
I cook things that I don't normally eat just to learn how to cook them. Mac and cheese.
Says my mic's not working. Is
Oh.
it muted?
Eric's mic's not working? Oh, no.
Yeah. Good thing. Got to check the chat. Is my mic working? Mic hot. Bryce.
Okay, so this is plugged in.
Okay.
Gnarly.
So yeah. Eric did the turkey trot.
I do a mic check, mic check.
It works on the road. Or does it?
See audio
moment.
input.
I don't think I changed anything.
Oh, actually, it's not registering anything. Could be dead. Oh, yeah, it's got a funky.
Don't you plug in?
Techno
Yeah.
Kings. Techno
No?
Kings.
Well, it's in, but it feels broken.
Oh no. Mic check.
Nope.
I can go over here. No, but then I gotta.
Oh, you know what?
Oh my God, they're all in different
Try
positions.
now.
Mic
Yeah, That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll
We're
do
back,
it.
Baby. You're so back.
Power on, power off.
Okay.
Just gonna double check.
Thank you, Bryce.
Thank you, guys.
We're so back.
Tunsky, you guys need a drink.
Yeah, we need a drink.
We
Yeah,
do
you're
need a
back.
drink.
You're on.
Okay.
All right. Cheers. Happy Gratitude Month. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, you downed that thing.
Cheers. Salud.
Did you do any like gratitude exercises this Thanksgiving? Is that a thing you do?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is my favorite time of year. I love Thanksgiving.
Same.
Favorite holiday, favorite time of year.
So how do
I
you
love
like?
the slowdown.
How do you perform some kind of gratitude? Is it like with the family, or you just go kind of solo?
Well, I think most families, a lot of families do like the typical like what
Around
are
the
you
dinner
thankful
table,
for
yeah.
around the dinner table. We definitely do that. You know, I prepare a nice little talk.
Nice.
But no, I mean it's more of a personal thing. I think it's just about partially what you do, which is like the mental checklist of like just keeping that in the frontal lobe,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ever present. I honestly try to do that every morning and night. Like Erica and I had a really good run. We need to kind of make sure we do it every day, like your workouts.
Thanks.
But before we go to bed, we just say like 3 things that we're grateful for that day.
That's pretty awesome.
Could be like the smallest thing, but like just before we fall asleep, we had a really good run of doing that. And then in the morning, personally, I just like start the day with like, you know, hey, woke up. Like, you know,
Another day.
another day. But in particular, around this time of year, what I do is I really bring back the journal. I have that Remarkable, and I use that a lot. I do some journaling sessions. And for me, it's not like a framework at all, like when I journal. It's just more like the artist's way style, morning pages, like just get it out, like see the junk that comes out. And usually there's like 5 to 10 minutes of like, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's just like, good morning, or, you know, today was interesting. And then once I find the flow, it's like, I literally cramp, like my hand cramps because I just can't stop writing.
Nice.
So that's when the insights start coming. I try to do a lot of that during the holidays, more than usual. Yeah. But there's not like a framework to it.
Did you guys set up any Christmas decorations yet? Is this the time?
Christmas trees up.
Christmas trees up.
Yeah.
This is like the weekend to do it.
Yeah. I got to figure out how to do lights. Not one to get on a ladder and climb on the roof.
We got a baby Christmas tree for Rumi. She decorated her own tree
Oh, she did?
in October.
Dude, she's
I
doing
was
her
like,
own.
we got to wait. She wanted a Christmas tree.
Amazing.
So she's got her own. And then big tree's up now as
Nice.
of this past weekend.
I love those fake trees that already have the lights interwoven in there.
That's what we got. Yeah.
It took me like 7 minutes to set up the Christmas tree.
Wait, the lights are already
Sorry,
done?
dude. You just
3 sections.
three
Plop,
exactly.
Plop, plop.
I have the same model. 3 sections, plug in.
I
Done.
have one of those, but the lights aren't in it.
Oh,
like that's
you need
nice.
the lights already hung
You
up.
need
in
the
there.
lights.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Only thing you have to hang is the scent thing that makes it smell like a real tree.
Oh, I don't have one of those.
And by the
either.
way, Nick sells that.
I wish.
Oh man. Yeah. What about you? Any gratitude stuff?
No, I had on my while you were gone, we did the Hakata method of goal setting.
Harada.
Harada method.
I realized this weekend we said it all wrong.
Okay, I thought it was Harada too, but I didn't want to like
No, you
correct
should've
you
corrected me.
without knowing. I didn't really know.
Yeah. Harada.
But one of my squares on there, I wanted to begin to define like our family's traditions, like whatever that looks like. And I think one of them is going to be like on Thanksgiving, we do some sort of like gratitude exercise. But I mean, Josie's far too young to participate, and I think I'm still working on that idea, massaging it.
Nice.
But Mina and I do kind of like what you and Erica described, which is like just really being present and recognizing the good in our lives. And
One of these days, could be today, but it'd be a good topic of just like rituals. There's this great book by Carl Sagan's daughter. You guys know Carl Sagan.
course.
It's focused on like basically modern day secular religion of non-ideology. And she does this like deep examination of all the rituals from around the world, from every culture. Persians, Chinese, Jews, Christians, everything, Brazilians, I mean, all over the world. It's so fascinating. And she talks about how in modern day secular culture, like it's really necessary you're basically developing your own culture, and it starts in your home. And so I would love to hear from you guys, like things you guys do with your wives or yourselves that are like family traditions.
I want to source some ideas from the audience in our Discord, in the chat now. I want to hear what people are doing.
Like one of the things that Erica and I do as well is like, it's not like a say grace, but it's like before we eat, we don't just start eating. And I don't know where this came from with me, but with me, it's like that one moment in the day where I just want to slow down finally and like not just go right into like.
So are you guys doing a family of 4 around the table?
No, I wish.
Okay.
It's chaos when we get home.
Right.
It's like feed them. And then if we're lucky, we even get to eat before we put them to bed. But that's only like once a week. Usually it's like all hands on deck, put them to bed. And so then finally dinner's not till like 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So, but when we do, we hold hands and we just sit there and we actually just take turns. Every other night is another person's turn to say what they're grateful for.
Damn, that's
in
awesome.
the family. I'm so glad that we did that because it's at first it was a little weird, but now it's like I would feel weird eating dinner without doing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel ritual lacking at the moment.
You feel a little insufficient.
Yeah, I want more of these though. They feel good. They're grounding, consistent placeholders.
And it's like all
in your
positive
life.
vibes. I think the positivity really matters. It's like it changes your whole outlook
You
on
can be
life.
having a really shitty day, and in that moment, it's like, okay, I got to find it. Like, what am I grateful for?
Because there's a bunch of shit that you're grateful for that you're just overlooking when you're like having a shitty day.
100%. 100%. What are you focused on? What are you looking for? So, yeah, I've struggled sometimes to find something, but it's like you can just be like, man, this water company and this goddamn delicious conscious water. Like,
Yeah.
it can be that simple. Yeah. So, Nick,
Yes.
Formula One.
Oh yeah. Went to
Right before
Tell us
Thanksgiving.
about your
Before
VIP
Thanksgiving.
experience.
let's should we do it after the ad read?
Sure.
All right, let's do the ad read because it helps to tie in with Formula One. So everyone go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa. Check out the pre-alcohol probiotic. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, the alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. Acetaldehyde. Thank you, Eric. It's built up by this byproduct.
I'm a little rusty, boys. I'm sorry.
It's that, not dehydration, that makes it a rough morning after drinking. So the pre-alcohol produces this enzyme. It's enzyme that breaks down that byproduct. So when you drink, make sure to take the pre-alcohol as your first drink of the night. And I used 3.
Saved my Thanksgiving.
You drank during? Oh, you drink during Thanksgiving?
What?
You look at him like he's a weirdo?
I don't know. I didn't know. Do
What?
people drink heavily during Thanksgiving?
It's like almost like
yeah.
that's the point, dude.
Oh, okay.
Wait, really?
I didn't drink at all.
I start in the morning.
I was gonna text you guys like when
guys
is
saw
it
the video I
when is
sent,
it
right?
acceptable to begin?
I don't have.
You wake up.
We don't have Instagram. You keep sending us Instagram things. We don't.
Just at least like open it in your browser or
No,
something.
it doesn't do that anymore.
Log in.
I don't even know where the password is.
You'll
anymore.
figure it out.
Okay, so that thing you shared was from
Still some good content
it
occasionally.
was from like Bert Kreischer, the comedian.
It's an incredible video.
He said like you start with an edible and then you go to light beers and then you do your first shot and then after
Yeah.
your first shot like
You have your first public
your
drink.
first public drink
yeah. First public drink.
and then you make sure if when you want to have some wine you say, should I open a bottle of wine?
Dude,
Instead
it's
of like
so good.
because everyone's gonna say yes, so then that
Yeah.
becomes like a
And then
obvious
if you
yes.
want more, the way you take the attention off of you is by keeping everyone else's glasses full. And so then it's just like, oh, he's not drinking a lot of wine. It's just we're all drinking wine. Dude, it's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
Have you seen his video about I will never stop drinking?
No.
Oh, it's if we have audio, I have to play it at some point. Like, yeah, it's so good.
So go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa and get 15% off the pre-alcohol. Thanks, ZBiotics.
Yeah, it saved my Thanksgiving.
Okay, so Nick, you had a few when you were in Vegas.
Oh yeah, for Formula One. So we got lucky. We got one of our mutual friends, new sponsor of the Red Bull team, and man, I had so much fun. we got like exclusive access. We were like in Red Bull's hospitality the whole time. We got to go in the garage, walk the paddock, walk through the garage, see it, hold the little what's it called?
The gun?
The gun that screws in the tires. Saw Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Travis Scott.
Wow.
Saw
about
Lewis
Max?
Hamilton. He was just talking to models the whole time. Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah. And
Maxi Boy was
Maxi
around?
Boy was there. He came in and chatted for a little bit. Came into like the hospitality area. All the drivers did. They kind of like, there's mostly sponsors in there.
Were you there on like actual race day, or is this like trials, or
All 3 days.
This is absurd.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're a big fan. So this is the equivalent of me going to the World Cup,
Yeah.
and then I get to be in the Argentina
Locker
room.
dugout locker room, and then the other team also shows up, and there's like Ronaldo, and then the coaches are there. It's like fucking Zidane. Like, you're meeting everyone, and you're getting to see the jerseys, the balls, the cleats, everything. Like,
everything.
you're just like there. It's like you turn into a child, right?
I was giggling the entire time. So like the race starts at 8 p.m. and it finishes off at like, I don't know, like 9:30. We got there at 2 p.m. because there was so much to do. Like you got there, the drivers come in and talk, or maybe the like team principal. You go down to the garage, you walk all the garages if you want. You can go do a little tour of the whole track. They put you on these big trucks and you can drive around the whole track and check it out.
That is
They had a whole
incredible.
upstairs with like, it was like a whole entertainment park. They had a sushi bar, like a pizza oven, an oyster bar. They had
everything was like open bar?
yeah,
and-
it's all included. I mean,
Wow.
this was not a cheap ticket.
Yeah.
But we got it for free, luckily. And 20 simulators you could drive on. They had a bar made of ice. The whole bar was constructed out of ice, and you only got a drink out of the luge. Anyway, it was all kinds of stuff to do
Ridiculous.
throughout the day. But it was just awesome because we were right over the garage. So like when Max was doing his pit stops, or Red Bull was doing his pit stops, it's kind of fucked up. I was like, I could literally drop my drink on Max's head during the pit stop and like ruin the whole championship race. probably would
That's weird.
be frowned upon.
Okay,
but
so you're explaining this. You were there for 3 days. Like
Yeah.
by the third day, are you like,
no.
I gotta go do this again?
At the end, I didn't. I literally was sitting down. I was like, I don't want to leave. They're like, the race is over. I was like, are we going somewhere? We just
Yeah, what's the next
Max
thing?
just won, and I think I was sitting next to one of Max's family members.
No way.
Yeah, so that was cool. And I was like, what are we doing? And
So
they're like,
you are a Verstappen fan in general, but like you have to be when you're in the.
he's not my like. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan, I guess, if I had to
Okay.
pick. But like,
He's your Messi.
yeah.
But you have to be cheering for Max.
But also, he's like he's the underdog this season. He came from way back, and he has a chance to win in this last race coming up this weekend. So anyway, it was cool to watch him come back, and he won the race.
Damn.
And we were like, "Where are we going to celebrate?" And they're like, "We're flying to Qatar tonight." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, do I have to leave?"
I would lose my mind.
The food was also like 5-star restaurant quality.
What'd you go for? Sushi?
Everything. I had everything.
Pizza?
Everything. Steak,
Yeah.
lobster. So many things.
This is ridiculous.
Anyway, I tried
I
to
would
upload.
totally lose my mind.
I tried to
if this
upload
was a
videos. I
soccer thing.
couldn't do it. Upload in the Trello, but I have videos walking through the garage, and it's
Yeah.
epic.
Damn, dude, that sounds like best day ever contender.
It was so much fun. So much fun.
You ever think about that? Best day ever?
Oh yeah.
If you could
Today.
after your life go back to like 5 days, you got to know in your mind, okay, what day?
Dude, in my old company, my engineering lead, CTO actually, had a motto. Every day for him was the best day ever. So you just reminded me of that.
Cool.
He literally lived that way. I mean, ultimate gratitude guy. You'd see him and he'd say it to you, like, "What's up, man? Best day ever." I was like, dude, wow, you have this like trained.
You can't just say that.
I mean, he would say it with conviction.
yeah.
It was incredible. He was floating on cloud 9. But yeah, in terms of actual best day evers, yeah, those are insanely memorable.
I feel like
Insanely memorable.
that's something I need to focus on. Is like thinking about some.
You
some of
know,
the
I
five best.
mean, Kilimanjaro for me, wedding day, birth of babies, you know, stuff like that. Yeah,
There's some good ones.
yeah, those always stand out. Mushroom trip. Yeah, that's up there.
Okay. Do we have any announcements before we?
We do.
Kick
We
in?
do. So obviously, Alfalfa community, you may have noticed that one of our seats has been a little bit more empty than usual,
Wah,
Stephen.
wah.
We miss you. So Stephen, as you guys know, has for a long time been talking very openly and very vulnerably about his life journey towards simplicity and focus and clarity. And over the last few weeks, this has become more and more clear to him of what he wants to focus on. And obviously, we started this podcast together years ago, and it's been an incredible, incredible journey together. And that journey doesn't end. So Stephen will be here next week to share more about this himself. So we're just giving a light, abbreviated version of what he'll ultimately be sharing. But Stephen is going all in on Magic Lines, and it's something that we're extremely excited about. Obviously, as you guys know, we've been supporting that journey, pushing people to go sign up for Magic Lines. Magic Lines exists as a community within the Alfalfa community, and he's got some really big, exciting plans. I mean, this is something he's very passionate about. He's really finding his ikigai. And as friends, what more could we want than to support that journey? And so being a guy who's got an incredible amount of demands on his life and all these things that he's trying to do, I mean, I know Stephen extremely well, and he just stretches himself like we all do. And clearly he's been stretching himself for a long time. And so I think in terms of decisions, it's extremely exciting. We should all be very happy for him. We should all be very excited for him. And so what we're doing with that is obviously supporting that. And what we're doing with the pod is ourselves. Now we have the opportunity as well to start to really create an even more robust discussion, to start to have guests on. We've heard from the community many, many, many times, like, man, I loved when you guys had Doc on, or I loved when you guys had Kevin Kelly or Dan Martell or whatever. People from the community, people from the outer, world of influence, and bringing a different dynamic to the conversation. So we're really excited to start to be able to do that. We're even going to be able to live stream people in and bring people in virtually. And Stephen is going to continue to come and show up to the pod as much as possible just not every single week the way that he was doing before. So he'll be here next week, I believe. We'll still keep doing the Alfalfa episodes as we did, but I'm very excited for him. I know you guys are too, and change is the only constant.
We'll probably have like an Alfalfa discount code for Magic Lines too. Once he's got that ready, and we'll like help support his channel that way. And he does a hell of a job. I'm not like a believer in technical analysis. I'm kind of like the opposite side of the coin, but Steven is very, very good. He's like the guy that I trust. So I think he'll do great.
Yeah.
I know. I want him to come back today.
Yeah. And I mean, anyone out there who's like, oh man, I like the consistency, all that. All I'll tell you is, the sooner in life that you can face the reality that change is the only constant, the better. You got to be, flexibility solves all problems for everybody. And so like adapting and moving through any change, no matter, even it's a bit of course, it's like, even for us, it's like, oh, we've had this consistent thing and all of that. But at the end of the day, you have to keep evolving.
Well, yeah. And I think also like you get 3 years into conversations with your buddies, and, it's nice to switch it up. Like you mentioned that convo with Doc, that
sparked something for everybody.
Yeah, it wasn't only just because Doc had a lot of cool alpha, but it was just like fresh. It was like fresh energy, and I think learning from new voices, like that's something I'm excited about. Just being able to like go into topics that maybe we wouldn't necessarily be specialists in, and we can talk to an actual specialist. That's gonna be really cool.
Yes, and to share something a little more from behind the scenes for everybody, because I think it's important for you guys to know this, is like we've been wanting to do this strategy for a long, long time. We know that like the four of us, sure, we have great ideas. We analyze things. We swim in the messy gray. But you can only get so far with your limited set of knowledge and domain expertise. And then bringing on a fifth person into this podcast would have been very, very difficult. And so we've hesitated to do that for a long, long time. This opens up that opportunity very clearly and makes it so that Steven can pop in and be that person as well, but also so that we can tap on industry leaders. I mean, I've got a long list of people, as you guys know, that I'm really excited.
You ran the Flow podcast that was all guests.
All guests, and they're out there, and they would love to come on this show and be part of this Alfalfa style conversation. It would give them a different platform, and it would help us grow and reach a new audience and be able to just have a more dynamic, fresh conversation. And there's even talks of like narrowing in a little bit more on certain topics and creating some recurring themes that are a little bit more clear to the wider audience of like what you really get by being here every week. So we're really excited about that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. Anything to add?
Nope. All good. Nailed it.
Cool. So I want to show you guys a friend of mine. I just want you to see. She did this photo shoot recently. Don't share your screen yet. I'm going to zoom in first. Okay. So this is her. This is Ashley. And Ashley.
Yeah, where do you know her from?
Ashley, I know from a friend of mine named Nano Banana. This is a 100% AI generated photo. There is not a single thing I think you can find in here, I have not found in here, that would indicate to me that this is AI generated. There is no uncanny valley here, gentlemen.
She looks like she's 22 years old and she has a wedding ring on. That is a dead giveaway.
Found it. Yeah. Found it. Yeah. She's mature. She's mature.
Do you remember when like AI generated videos or photos had like 17 fingers or something?
Yeah.
Like how far we've come.
Fingers.
Look at Nano Banana versus Nano Banana Pro. Like this one, you're like, okay.
Well, that looks really good too.
That looks really good too, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't even show that. Go back.
So this is Nano Banana, but then this new Pro model is just, my God. I mean, her freckles. Look at the little, she's got little skin, like, I don't even call them blemishes, but you know what I mean. Like little, little details. Here? Like, but here like, maybe it's a little bit more airbrushed.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch that documentary, The Thinking Game?
Ridiculous.
No.
On Google DeepMind. It's like a year and a half old. But it talks about Demis Hassabis. He starts DeepMind with his friends. Kind of talks about his like early childhood too, because like since he was a young teenager, he wanted to solve AGI, and now he's actually living it. But it goes behind the scenes at DeepMind, and how they're like fully a research company. But they're the thing I found fascinating about it, because DeepMind is what eventually turned into Nano Banana and Gemini Pro 3 and all the things that we see in AlphaFold too is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But they
remember Bard? That was such a bad
Bard.
name. Bard
What was that?
Was the
Was
first generation of Gemini.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, the
Lambda.
way they organize their like learnings and development is around games. So they first started off with like Atari Pong, and they're like, can we train this computer, this algorithm to learn how to play Pong? And they get there, and then they're like, well, can it just learn any? Can we feed any Atari game in and just have it learn? And they advanced that. Then they were like, what about chess? And they beat chess. Then they went to, was it Go? Or what's the
Go? Yeah.
Go. They beat the Go player. StarCraft. They kind of like competed high. Didn't beat the like an ultimate pro. But the way they structure their teams are around games and contests. So when they wanted to solve the protein folding problem, they entered a contest. And
Protein folding. So this is like in bio.
yeah, like apparently, I don't know much about it, but like if you know the amino acid sequence, you don't necessarily know the structure of the protein, even though you know what kind of makes up this thing. And it was incredibly hard. Thousands of incredibly smart people have tried. No one's even come close to being usable. Even the contest was always you'd award the person who did the best, but it was like completely irrelevant because none of it was good
won.
enough.
Yeah.
And the first time they entered, they won, but still like completely unusable. And then by the second time they won, and then they advanced to like 2024, and they're like, cool, here's an API. We can show you any structure of any protein, and we're giving it all away. And and they talk about how like
Didn't DeepMind guy win a Nobel?
Yeah, he did. Him and his him and the team lead for that
He is a
Alpha
fascinating person to listen to.
Yeah,
Very grounded.
Is that the guy that you were describing?
Demis. Yeah, and I thought it was like, oh, this is a smart guy who started DeepMind, but no, he actually, as a teenager, wanted to do this. He got offered. He got like competed in a contest to win a job at like the biggest video game company in Europe, and they're like, God, guy's like 12 years old. Like, can we even employ this guy?
Yeah, like this
and then he became incredibly valuable. Helped build one of the most popular games in the world. Got offered £1 million to stay on in the 90s. That's like,
Damn.
Whoa.
and he actually didn't and decided to go to Cambridge instead
Cambridge.
because he knew that was his like, yes, that's exactly how he pronounced it. So anyway, it's a fascinating documentary. Get a little behind the scenes, but I never thought about like you structure your company's like product development around solving games, entering contests, and it provides this like forcing function and a real deadline, and you build a mini team. They call them like strike teams, and then they
Yeah, it's like
built
Ender's Game. You
Yeah.
got to find like the best 12-year-old. Build your whole company around him.
yeah.
Well, this is a tease, right? Because we're going to come back to AI.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
we are.
there is a deep dive to be had on AI shortly, which I don't know. Maybe this is a lot out of order. I feel like we should just keep going with
We
AI.
should just go with AI.
Keep going.
Yeah, let's just go into AI.
You want to and then get to the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to get to the money and then get to the deep dive in AI.
Okay.
I can switch back. I'm flexible. Flexibility solves all problems.
You want to talk about the poverty line?
You know where I learned that?
I don't know where you're going now.
Go on.
Rhetorical question. Burning Man. First thing.
Flexibility solves all
I
problems.
think I'd mentioned this, so sorry if this is a repeat, but it was probably 100 episodes ago. The journey to get to Burning Man is so fucking difficult that they call it a pilgrimage. And by the time you get there, you don't even want to be there. You're just like, oh my God, this was so arduous. First thing I see immediately is like the sign that I needed. Walk in, first little hut I walk by, huge sign. Flexibility solves all problems. And it all just melted away. And I was just like, I'm good. I'm here now. Like, it's okay. I've carried that with me ever since. So good.
I like that.
Now,
All right.
that will carry you to the poverty line. The poverty line.
Does flexibility solve poverty? Because apparently I need 140,000 to not be in poverty.
Yeah. So,
Break it down, Nick.
what's this guy's name? Michael Green.
Like green.
He's a chief strategist at Simplify Asset Management. and I think he manages an ETF as well. But he posts some articles, and he posted an article a few weeks ago,
There it is,
right before Thanksgiving, and I think the the title is "My Life is a Lie." But anyway, he dives into the benchmark of the poverty line, which currently is at $31,200 for a family.
Scroll
of
down
4.
a little bit. Scroll down to the next headline. The next headline. Oh yeah, there it is. A broken benchmark quietly broke America. He's talking about the poverty line.
Yeah. So he kind of digs in, and apparently the poverty line calculation was established in 1963 by this woman at the Social Security Administration. And as like a backhanded way to come across it, she noticed that most families spend about a third of their entire budget on food. So then that is what created. They would take the amount you spend on food, times it by 3.
And that's the poverty line.
And that's the poverty line, adjusted for inflation. And it sits at $31,200, which
That's so
I think we can
dumb.
all argue for a family of 4 is like starvation.
Absolute starvation.
Yeah. So then he goes on to make an
It's like
argument
homeless territory.
of what the real poverty line should be, and I guess he does make some interesting insights of like, okay, well, if you had to match that to today, what would you have to multiply that food line item by to something equivalent today? And apparently, a family of 4 spends about 5 to 7% of their budget on food items.
yeah, which is interesting in itself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
5
you have to
7%.
multiply, let's say, generously by 14 to come up with it, which also lands you around that 140K
Right.
mark. And then he goes into what he thinks.
Look at these real estate numbers are fascinating. He's like, the model allocates only $23,000 per year for housing, but if you go into like a starter home in Caldwell, New Jersey, and you even just try to rent it, it's $27.15 per month. That's an $800 gap between the model and reality.
So that's on his new model, which says 140,000. And I think we go to his
he says
budget.
he's being conservative.
Right. So let's go to his budget. So childcare is actually the number one
Scroll
expense.
down a little bit. I think there's like, he kind of like breaks it down.
No, it's actually higher.
Oh, sorry, it's
The
higher.
Valley of Death. Why
No,
100K
scroll
is
up,
the new
scroll
core.
up. Like he gives like a,
Yeah,
there
let's
it is.
put that on the screen right there.
Right, line items right there.
Yeah. So childcare is the number one expense at 32K. We'll definitely talk about this one.
Checks out.
Housing 23K, food 15K, transportation 15K, healthcare 10K, other essentials 22K for a required net income of call it 120K after taxes. You know, you need a gross income of like 140K for a family of 4.
Yep.
I mean this feels right, but I think before we get into like his methodology and does this make sense, is I think most of America innately like feels this, you know, even though they're well above 31,200 and maybe they're not making 140K, or maybe they even are as a family of 4 being like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I totally agree that this is like directionally correct. But I think when we're talking about poverty, we're talking about something that is a little bit esoteric, right? Like, what is poverty?
Yeah.
And I think when we're looking at these line items, even, it's like, okay, well, does somebody who's like impoverished like spend $32,000 on childcare?
Well, what they're not spending on is vacations, eating out, Netflix,
right. So
iPhones.
So he eliminated all of those.
Yeah, he eliminated all the superfluous stuff, and he just basically said, "Can you survive and stay healthy and grow your family?"
Maybe poverty is a esoteric word, but this is the survival rate.
I guess the one way to put this is like if you didn't meet it, one of these things would have to suffer: childcare, housing, food,
And none of these
transportation, healthcare.
can suffer. These
So-
are not things that you can.
Well, hold on.
do without.
So he does mention below. He's like, well, childcare at 32,000. That assumes that both parents are working. So like you can have mom stay home and take care of the kids, and then that knocks like $40,000 to $50,000 off of your need.
But it also knocks the salary down.
Yeah, but that's your income coming down.
Yeah, he
too.
makes I think a good argument that in order to hit 140,000, most households have to have 2 primary workers.
Right, and then he also makes this like argument of like, what about people who don't have kids? Like a lot of people are in poverty, but we're not talking about a family of 4.
Right.
So there's a lot of people who are like 2 income, no kids. There's people who are just by themselves.
To remind a few employees that
Yeah.
you are not below the poverty line, sir.
So I think like what I don't want to do is get into a semantic argument of like where the poverty line is, but I want to talk about like how directionally correct this is, because I do see a lot that's right, and I have like other takes beyond that are like, I see some like misaligned incentives that are created that I would like to dig into more.
We could dig into that, but I mean, Armand, you're the only one here who has a family of 4. Is childcare? I mean, okay, we live in San Diego, so housing is going to be the number one.
Yeah, I mean, all my numbers are way beyond that.
Yeah.
Spend like 60 to 70 grand on childcare.
Right. And is that like, what does that look like? A nanny or a babysitter
Preschool
or
and
preschool?
nanny.
Oh yeah, preschool I guess is
Preschool's 1,700. Nanny's like almost 4K
yeah.
a month.
Yeah, and you and your wife both work.
Yeah.
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 So that's yeah. Could you reasonably see another way to make this work if you were like, okay, I need to get childcare down to like $10,000. Is that even possible?
I can get it down to 36 to 40K
Okay.
by putting the other one in childcare. So I'd get it down to like, I could get it down to 3K ish a month.
Wow.
But we weren't willing to do.
But you guys
that.
like aren't impoverished either.
No.
So like,
No.
I think like what what the original definition was the inadequacy line. It's like, it's not even the adequacy line. It's the inadequacy line. Like what's the line where you like can't survive?
Well, the underpinning of that is that you need 2 incomes, because like in 1963, one income could actually buy you a home, could get you a car that maybe it breaks down a little bit, but like it works. And even the car that breaks down, you could probably fix yourself because it was pretty mechanical.
He had like
Yeah.
8 parts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I mean, he goes through why everything has changed, which I don't think we need to go into because it's
Right.
pretty much obvious. But it seems really hard to be able to be adequate without 2 incomes.
Yeah, I don't think you can dispute the numbers. So what was the deeper thing you were saying that you?
I guess like what I'm trying to say is that you guys are dealing with all these numbers, but you're not impoverished. So
Well, only because we're fortunate that the income is high enough.
agree, but like a lot of people aren't making 140K as a
Right.
family, and they're still surviving. So like, what the original intention of the metric was an inadequacy line. You're inadequate to survive. So what he's measuring is something different.
Also, to maybe add on to that is that all of these families, for the most part, have things like air conditioning and high-powered computers.
Quality
in
of
their
life has
pocket.
improved.
Yeah.
Remember
you
that
can make
study that
argument
talks
too.
about like diminishing returns of wealth and like how 56,000 or was it 70,000 was like the number, and anything beyond that shows like extremely diminishing returns. What was that really describing? It wasn't poverty. It was where you start to feel inadequate. And so I think what this highlights is like, if you're not covering these basic needs, at least you're probably not happy. You're probably not feeling stable.
And you're definitely
probably
living
not feeling good.
paycheck to paycheck, right? Because
Definitely.
in no part of that is it like, oh, I deposited my 401k.
Yeah, so I think it's fair to say you need to make, if you're a 2-person household, 2 people working, whatever, and you're going to have child, you need 150, 160K a year to feel adequate, to feel like you're not just in survival mode.
I agree.
But you're not in poverty.
Yeah, but I think there's like layers to this shit.
Of
you know,
course.
like, but I do agree that, I mean, his big 3 line items were housing, healthcare, and childcare.
Yep.
And I think that's true. Okay, so one of the takeaways I had was that okay, so yeah.
I mean, food is a huge line item. Transportation.
Well, hold on. Highlight those 3 big ones. So
he has other essentials.
so
at
like
22K.
I think it's interesting that like for instance, food has actually like dropped as a percentage of your total spend.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to look at was like, is this a function of like policy bringing down the cost of food and like
Well, no,
agriculture
just
bringing
to
that
be
down,
clear.
or is that everything else exploding?
Of course. Of course. Like food is actually more expensive.
Okay, so so food budget was 1/3. Now it's 5 to 10%, but it's only because housing and childcare and healthcare.
Yeah, childcare
rose.
is 30% or, and your housing is 15 to 20%.
Okay, so the healthcare one I want to focus on because The healthcare one, it's like if you are actually in poverty, you get subsidized healthcare.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
I do.
Okay, cool. So I'll outline what he says, and you can maybe add on to it.
So if you're in this, you should be in poverty.
Well, I think what's
I mean, he makes a decent argument.
he makes an argument for this, and I have like basically 3 conclusions off of this write-up that I want to go into, but I think like
This person gets nothing from the government.
Exactly.
yeah.
So here's this quick thing. The view from 35K, he calls them the official poor. At this income, the family is struggling, but the state provides a floor. They
the view from
qualify
$35K dollars.
Yeah.
I was thinking 35,000 feet in the sky.
No, sorry, $35,000.
Yeah.
They qualify for Medicaid. They receive SNAP, which is food stamps. They receive heavy child care subsidies. Their deficits are real, but they're capped. Okay, now you move to $45,000. The family earns a $10,000 raise. Good news? No. At this level, the parents lose Medicaid eligibility. Suddenly, they must pay premiums and deductibles. So they gain $10K in income, but they have over $10,000 in expenses increased.
So hold
the net
on.
result is they're poorer than
Yeah,
before.
pause here, please.
Okay.
This is the biggest problem, I think.
It's a huge problem. So,
Like,
Nick
you're-
and I know a guy that didn't want to get paid more because he wanted to stay at a certain level.
Yes. Okay, so this is like I think this is the biggest issue. We talk about the deteriorating middle class. We talk about the K-shaped economy. I think one of the problems is that like the lower part of the K has an incentive to stay there because if you get a raise, you're actually poorer.
Yeah, I wanted to like one time explore the war on poverty and how it actually created these perverse incentives. You guys remember this, but you poo-pooed my
fascinating to
topic at the
revisit.
time.
This is fascinating.
It gets almost worse. So
That's really bad.
he talks about the cliff at $65,000. So this is the breaker. The family works hard. They get promoted to $65,000 a year. They are now solidly working class. But at roughly this level, childcare subsidies vanish. They must now pay the full market rate for daycare. Income gain, $20,000. Expense increase, $28,000.
So they're the ones in poverty.
Net result, total collapse.
Yeah.
So
So is poverty when you're supported by the government because you're below a certain threshold, or is poverty where the pressure is so high because of the lack
No,
of
I think
subsidy? It's
yeah.
the working class that's in poverty.
Real poverty is when you're $1 above getting the subsidy and
Yeah.
then you had to pay for everything yourself.
That's poverty. That's
Then you're-
real poverty.
Then you're fucked.
You're fucked. Oh, that's
And
terrible.
now imagine you're a single parent.
That's terrible.
You actually can't take the extra money. And okay, another, I think this was like a Thomas Sowellism. This is where it gets a little more fucked up. Okay. So, kids who show like a high crime rate in their future also grow up in not so great households. They typically live with single parent families, typically where the father is not present. Okay. Now imagine you're the mother of these 2 kids. You have 2 options. You can move the father back in and become a dual income household, but then you land in this trap. Or you could potentially have another kid without a father as part of the thing and increase your subsidies, increase your
Right.
gains, and you're actually probably net better off having an additional kid without a father's household.
Perverse incentive.
Perverse incentives, right? So, but there's obviously another part of that, which there's genuine, households who genuinely need it. So how do you reconcile the two?
Well, okay, so I mean, I was thinking that there's 3 ways to handle this. One is you can go to like full capitalism, direct capitalism, which enables people to work harder to make more. The other way is to just really increase socialism and like help out these people who are like below 140K. I think the middle tier I was thinking is more like progressive socialism in the same way that we pay like progressive income taxes. We could have like a more graduated welfare state where like people get, it's not like a binary outcome light switch. You get healthcare or you don't, but it's like a graduated.
There's like earned income tax credits. Like as your income goes higher, you get tax credits towards certain things. That's like, I think what you're describing.
Yeah, I'm even thinking that like, how about somebody who's making 65K? You don't get your healthcare turned off. You get subsidized, X percent.
Well, if we bump the poverty line to 140K,
well, that would be like that'd be option 2, I guess. What I was saying, which would be like socialize everybody who's making under 140K.
Yeah.
But I think this tiered structure would make sense so that people are still incentivized to go hire in like a capitalistic world, you don't like
or stay together as like a dual parent.
Like I just want
household.
to make it so that you don't kneecap yourself by like achieving.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's actually a very perverse incentive. And I know far too many people throughout my life who have fallen into that bucket.
It would be worth maybe Thomas Sowell has plenty about this. We could like pull out a few chunks and do a topic on it.
We could interview him.
Yeah.
I wish. I wish. I was trying to think what else is in here. He does talk about like the political issues around it. Like if you all of a sudden raise the poverty line, then the stats get.
I mean, what do you think about the idea of just like increasing the welfare that's available to people? Because I feel like maybe like the populism du jour is going for that. You know, people are just like feeling like maybe you're making sub 140K and you're not feeling like you're making it, and you're like, well, I'm going to vote for Mom Donnie or whomever because like that's probably going to.
So funny you mentioned that. Pod favorite Chem Carson kind of said something similar to what you said, and he like kind of quote tweeted this. He says the hyperbolic outpouring of support for Mike Greenpeace is the surest sign that the zeitgeist of populism is back with a vengeance. Heading into 26 midterms, fiscal spending and inflation is coming. To those confused by the Fed's recent actions in the face of accelerating employment, the Fed knows it. So he's saying what you're saying is that populism is back. We want handouts. We want direct transfer payments.
Of course people do. I think dismissing Mamdani as like a fluke thing and a bunch of dumb Zoomers voting for socialism is extremely dismissive and naive. You have to really tap into the reality of people. And the reality of people is they can't afford to live, and there's an inadequacy problem, and they don't see a future for themselves. And somebody has to solve it. And they don't see a way to solve it themselves, so they have to YOLO crypto. They end up losing their crypto, and then they're back at square one. And so the only options you can't even, I think we're going to talk about it, or it was one of the topics, was like you can't even like S&P your way to wealth anymore.
Well,
so,
yeah, hold on.
You know,
put a pin in that.
I know, I will.
Talk about it later.
But the point is, like, you can't just dismiss this entire generation of people that can't buy a home, that can't afford to go out on dates. Like, I keep thinking about this. This topic constantly comes up with like family and friends. Is like, what's really going on with the Zoomers? The constant topic we talk about. They don't drink. They don't go out. They don't have sex. They don't, eat out. They don't do these things. Why?
They can't.
Is it just they can't?
They can't afford it.
They can't.
Yeah.
There was another interesting piece of this article, I thought. He talks about like using COVID as a case study. So I saw the stat and it kind of didn't make sense at the time, but now it makes sense the way he describes it. So during the COVID lockdown, so 2020 through like, let's call it end of 2021, the household savings rate jacked up to 33%. And we generally knew that people had more cash on their balance sheet. And in my head, I was thinking like, is it really just a few $1,000 stimulus checks that like all of a sudden made households
It
that
was the
dramatically
childcare savings.
Exactly. So he says during lockdown, the valley of death was temporarily filled. Childcare suspended, kids were at home, commuting suspended, work lunches closed, suspended. And he says for many, income actually rose thanks to the $600 a week unemployment boost. But even for those whose income stayed flat, they felt rich because the costs were avoided. So he said all of a sudden a family earning $80,000 suddenly felt rich, not because they earned more, because the leak in the bucket got plugged.
Temporarily.
Yeah.
And we're probably eating through those savings now.
Are people back at work now, you think?
It better be.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, everyone was working during the time too.
And it's funny, as an employer, like I felt the shifts. Like you can know, as you're constantly hiring and interviewing, you can tell this like this balance between
Who has the leverage?
who has the leverage. Is it people you're hiring or the employer?
What have you been feeling?
Oh, I mean, more recently, it's by far the employer has
by
the leverage.
far.
Yeah,
Same over here.
yeah. And this has probably been for about a year now.
Yeah.
Whereas in 2022, maybe
We have
2021, 2022, maybe into 23, it was like, people were like, eh.
We have a head of operations role open. We have 750 applications. Now, most of those aren't a fit,
Yeah.
but more than we've ever.
We get hundreds and hundreds of applications. We had a role where we had same.
Like,
Hundreds.
these are high tier. This is like a 150K role. Like there's that many qualified people out there. It's
Yeah, we
wild.
How
had-
do you fucking filter that?
Oh, it's
it's-
dude. I mean, for people who don't know, I literally spend a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds on the resume scan before just nope.
I think
nope,
this is
nope.
This is
Yeah.
cool, Alpha.
I don't
Actually,
even
I'm
look at
glad. I'm
resumes.
glad I asked this question because, like, there's a lot of people who apply for this stuff. Like, what?
My filter process is really simple. It makes my job very easy. I don't look at a single resume. I don't look at a LinkedIn profile. There are separate instructions in the job post.
Yeah.
First of all, if you don't follow those instructions, you're not even getting looked at. Disqualified. You have to send me a video.
Okay.
You have to send me a 90-second video. You have to send me an email telling me why you want the job and what you've done and why you're a great fit. And then a link to work you've actually done. And if you do a good job with that, I'm going to look at it.
Dude, at the
And then
bottom
maybe
of one of these Indeed
so I can
posts,
take 750 down to like 50 by doing that.
at one of these at the bottom, I said, if you would like to stand out, send me a 1-minute video. Now, Indeed may not give you the ability to upload a video,
No, email me.
but that's okay because you'll figure it out. There was like 17 different ways to like
It's a
get a
perfect
video
filter.
link in there.
You just filter.
But you'd be surprised out of the like 700 that apply, 2
Yeah.
will do it.
That's
Really?
how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Because
a
people
great
are just
filter.
one-click applying. Like, if you don't want the job bad enough, like, you're just one-click applying.
It's those
That just
people-
shows you what a surplus
People at home
there
like
is.
150K. I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
that's
a
what it is.
huge surplus in the market, so you got to stand out.
But
Like,
we
it
did
takes a little
recently. We
work.
did like phone screens, and then I had them do like a 10-hour test of like work, and then they had to submit it along with like a Loom video describing their project. And then Monday I have 3 full day of in-person interviews
How long have you been doing that exam style interview?
all the time.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
is it like
always.
pretty high signal in your experience?
Yeah, you actually get to see their work product, especially
You have
for
to- you have to
creative
work with
roles.
people before you work with them.
Yeah.
You have to.
And I tell them, I was like, I'll pay you for the work.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to pay you an extreme amount, but you're going to get like a fair hourly for it. We're not going to use your work. So I don't want you to feel like we're trying to get free work out of people. It's just, I want you to see the type of work you're going to do. And I want to see your work and you explain it. And I
we
mean,
do the
most
same thing.
definitely for engineers, we do it live. Like they have to share their screen and solve problems.
Yeah, we do like actual work with us. Like for Bridget worked with us for like 2 weeks paid before we decided. You know?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
Or
she
like-
does get paid on like a trial basis.
Or like if it's too many candidates and we want to run a bunch of them, we do like a project assessment, paid.
Yeah. And we're happy we pay like $50 an
Yeah.
hour for the work they do. It's like, you
Like,
know,
you got to see the work, man. Like a
so
resume
on
won't
this
tell
on
you
the
anything.
project assessment that you guys are talking about, would you actually give them real work for
Yeah.
$50 an hour?
I do. I give I even give access to our data, our information. Like I want you to do real work. It's not something like Nick said that we can use. We just want it to feel real.
yeah, we give them a real data set and say, let's see what you come up with. And like a 6-part test.
See what you got.
Yeah. And I even said, you should probably use an LLM for this part of the thing. So I need you to share me the transcript of your conversation with the LLM.
So would you actually read that?
Yeah, that's what I read
Yeah.
first thing I read was like, let's see how you use
Let's
this
see your
thing. Because
prompting.
like, you know,
Because that like really explains their thought process.
at first we were like, oh, they should use an LLM, but let's see if they do. I was like, let's just assume they're going to. Let's
It
just
is
even
so
tell them
hard
to do it.
interview an engineer, though. It's so
No,
hard.
those are easy.
You think so?
Yeah, we turn off the AI assistants, leave on the autocomplete like for the word they're typing, but we turn it off and then they have to raw code.
But like, see, I don't want someone who's only gonna raw code anyway. You just want to know that they actually can, right?
I actually do want to make sure they can raw.
Yeah, I obviously want to make sure they know how to do that too. I guess I just assume that step. But like, I need people that like don't want to do everything themselves.
Yeah. But
They're-
you can
they're
tease
like-
that out in
They're
like
like, I
asking
love
them.
Claude Code. I'm like, great, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I do everything with Claude Code. I'm like, that's great.
We even had to hire one of our old CTOs to do the interviewing because I was like, this guy's so good and he's mean in interviews, and I was like, I will pay you to just sit like conduct our engineering interviews, and it produced one of the best results, one of the best hires we've had at the company. But it was grueling because we'd have these conversations, look at their work, talk about experience, like, dude, this guy's perfect for us, and then they get to code, and it's like, I even know they're doing a bad
He's
job.
a phony.
Yeah, I mean, like 80% of people couldn't even complete it. They just were like, "I'm sorry, I can't
That's great.
figure it out."
And was
That's
it that
great.
hard or?
If you didn't have experience like with what we were working on, but also we give them the access to the internet. We said you could use an LLM,
Any tools you want.
you can use any tool you want. We just want to watch it. But like the native like place and Replit, we turned off the like auto AI assistant stuff. And
Yeah,
anyway,
so you're not just vibe coding.
yeah, the power is definitely in the hands of the employers. Okay, we veered off, but
Yeah.
But that was cool. Thank you guys.
yeah.
We go to Crypto Corner.
No, hold on. Did we finish? I guess we may
Oh,
finish that
am I
topic.
finishing it for you?
I think so.
Okay.
We've been on it for like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Y Capital is leaving Bitcoin.
Yeah, so let me try to summarize this one a little bit. So,
It's an
Sky wrote,
interesting take.
yeah, guy wrote an article, and he essentially says that
The
Hold
job
on.
is done.
Hold on. Scroll up. I haven't read this actually.
scroll up so you can see the crypto exodus. Why capital is leaving Bitcoin. I think this is also just like price getting people down a little bit, but his argument is
Price is the
that Bitcoin did its job. It was the battering ram that got the party started. Now there's tokenized stocks and stable coins. They've like sucked attention and capital, and all that left for Bitcoin is the trade, like trading it as an asset. And he compares the last 4 years of a cycle, and the trade has lost against the NASDAQ. So if all that's left is the trade, because he looks at code commits, those are way down, then it's actually not even a great trade because it's lost against the NASDAQ. Builders smell the stagnation. And he quotes, "The main trade is no longer to put a huge chunk of your net worth into magic internet money for a decade and hope. That only made sense when the rails were broken and the upside was obviously enormous." He says the upside is not obviously enormous. He said also like the OG people who had like the highest percentage of their net worth in crypto are actually just aging out almost. This was a smaller part of his argument, but they're selling because they have real things they want to purchase, homes. They want to fund their lifestyle.
Yeah, you
with their
can't live in
gains.
your Bitcoin.
No.
I agree.
No.
So
I just think it's like, yeah, it's what you said, Eric. It's just price is affecting people, and I do expect diminishing returns every single cycle, and I think this is a cycle that I think underwhelmed in every way.
hold on. Scroll up. What was the headline again? I just want to remember what he said.
Capital is leaving Bitcoin.
Okay. Yeah. Capital is leaving Bitcoin.
You want to hear something else that was, I think it was in this article, maybe separate, but Tether had their attestation. They actually hold more physical gold than Bitcoin. And I was like, wait, what? They represent 2% of all gold demand. And they're on par with like several tier 1 countries like
that was
banks, central banks.
the reason for the entire gold pump.
It was
China.
Tether just shoving billions of dollars into gold.
Yeah, I think this is FUD, basically.
I do too.
I think Bitcoin is going to grow at a faster rate than the NASDAQ. I think it's right in a lot of ways. Like it has achieved everything that
Yeah.
it's sought out to achieve, but I think that actually makes it better, not worse. Like it's using that as like a
Across
deterrent.
the chasm.
Right, across the chasm. Like Bitcoin.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I think it is weird that it sort of like did become part of the cultural zeitgeist. It did become part of like the presidential zeitgeist. It did get institutional buying through ETFs, et cetera, et cetera. And price is still where it is now. I think that's a little weird. But I still think we're going to see $1 million Bitcoin, within.
But do you think this is potentially
I
like
think 15 years.
Yeah.
Do you think this is potentially like an AGI situation where you've got this huge hype machine saying we're going to have AGI in 2 to 3 years, and then you've got this other group of people saying like, we need to reset our expectations. This is a decades thing. And with Bitcoin, there's just been like this, call it Balaji hype machine of like $1 million Bitcoins around the corner. Wasn't clear on his time horizon, but there was a lot of people that were just like, we're going to see 250, 300K Bitcoin this cycle. Didn't happen. We're going to see $1 million Bitcoin in the next few years. call it 5 to 10 years, and is this really a 2 decades thing? Actually,
Probably, yeah. I think that's a good
I think
way to frame
early
it.
2040s, you see $1 million Bitcoin,
Yeah, probably. I think that's a great way of phrasing it, and I think
which is an amazing annual return, by the way.
it's a great return.
Yeah.
And we can talk about later. We have a pin in a topic of like how to compound money. But yeah, I think Bitcoin is going to be a great asset to hold going forward. I think everything that we're experiencing now in Bitcoin, it's like noise. The way you bring AI into it is interesting. I think like another element is that like some part of Bitcoin investing is like highly risk tolerant growth investing, right? Like it's like that's like an archetype of investor. It's like I just want high returns, and a lot of those people are finding better returns in AI verticals. So they're like, why own Bitcoin? Let's own AI.
so they're the
stock
movers.
names. I think
That's the exodus.
I think that might be one. I think there's like more to it. I
but
think
the institutions are not going anywhere.
over the long term, none of this matters. Like Bitcoin, I think is going to $1 million a coin. I don't care. But I do think that, we have like inhales and exhales. I think like we're seeing this with AI too. Like I feel like within AI stocks, we're seeing like this FUD saying like, oh my God, look at like NVIDIA now is losing to Google and whatever. It's like the party's over. It's not over. Like party's not over for Bitcoin. Party's not over for AI.
Yeah, not in the long-term sense.
And
No.
when you look at the chart, the 4-year chart, you could kind of like see a little cherry picking here. Like Bitcoin had a little dive like right at the end of this like
Yes, I
period.
noticed.
But if
I
you
no-
went like 4 weeks prior, it was like up on the NASDAQ.
I noticed that he said it's underperforming NASDAQ over 4 years. 4 years is not a short amount of time though,
True.
to Ryder's credit. But, go back 10 years. How we doing? Bitcoin crushing.
When
Is
you
that
s-
fair? Because it's only been out for 10 years.
Well, he chose an amount of time
15,
that is
but-
sufficiently long and also supported his narrative.
Mm-hmm.
But it is sufficiently long. 4 years is a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. I'm not selling my Bitcoin.
But like this was like something that I was sort of harping on when Steven was here. I was like, dude, why are you spending so much fucking time in crypto when AI's the big thing that's happening and you're playing in a sandbox when AI's happening? Like like what you're worried about doesn't matter. But I think that's true with Bitcoin, with Ethereum, with all the shit. It's like I've been very clear for a long time. I said like there's a whole grocery store of assets and you guys are worried about the Coinstar machine in the front where you like put your nickels in. Who cares? Like I think that's where Bitcoin lands currently. Just for now. I think Bitcoin still goes to $1 million.
Yeah.
But like right now it's like AI time. Like why are we focused on
Yeah.
Bitcoin?
Right. Right.
Oh, got it. Speaking of AI,
I will say I'm selling ETH and altcoins. Going.
Thank you for your
into-
service.
Yeah.
You texted us over Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and we are experiencing a nice little relief rally, I guess you might call it.
Well, I'm basically assuming a pump to like 4K is the best case scenario, and then like peeling off along the way.
You must be a magic liner. That's
Am
what
I?
Steven said.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
he said he's not interested.
4K is just in my head like the best we're gonna do.
He
this
said he's not
cycle.
interested unless it hits over 3,900 or less than 800, and then he'll
Yeah.
he'll get back interested either way. But until then, ignore.
Ignore, huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we beat all-time highs. Like, what is all-time high? 4,900?
5,000. Yeah.
5K? I don't think that. Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about increasing quality of life because it's still kind of a money topic? Then we go into some AI.
Yeah.
Can we,
Yeah.
please, Daddy?
Quality of life.
Um,
Here you are.
all right.
sir.
So this is a Nick Huber post. He's a good baiter. So there's definitely some bait in here. But anyway, I thought it was a fun one to talk about.
I like the adjective. These are badass ways.
11 badass ways to increase your quality of life for $10,000 per month. Fuck those poverty lines.
Well, yeah.
You got $10,000 extra to pay. How you can
He
increase your
used
quality of
10K
life.
per month, I think, intentionally because that was like the cost of like buying a beach home or something.
Right.
So it's cool. It's like instead of buying the beach home,
Oh,
how
way
about
better
these?
than buying a $1.5 million beach house, was cost you the same per month. You could get a house cleaner for one time a week, a nanny who is an excellent cook, in-home haircuts, driver for date nights in the airport, executive assistant from somewhere.com, which she is an owner of, amazing coffee delivered, sauna plunge,
disclaimer?
mini split HVAC and master bedroom to sleep in 65 degrees during peak summer, country club membership. No good country club is only $1,300.
Dude, that's the one that stood out to me.
Get the fuck out of here. Virtual personal trainer in the Philippines, mobile car detailing. Yeah, that was it. I like those.
No, I like those too. The only one that stood out to me was the country club for $1,300.
Did you forget the $250K buy-in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, upfront cost.
Yeah.
What's he talking about? It's more than the fucking house. But all these things I think are pretty awesome. And I think for me...
I mean, for me, it's like life staff, nanny and house cleaner. Those are like definite value.
It's
add.
interesting that he like undersold the country club so hard, but nanny, he's putting at $4.8K a month, which would be much higher than Mike Green's version.
Yeah, you're right. But who's also an excellent cook?
Yeah, Mike Green's talking about poverty.
One of our friends of ours has a nanny that also cooks meals, and he
I had one.
loves that very much.
I had one that was $14K a month.
A week?
No, $14K a month.
She was
She was an excellent cook.
she was a 24/7.
She was special.
She didn't sleep, right?
She was a special ops. Comes in
Yeah.
the first 3 months, couple
commando.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was good though. But that was well worth it.
The driver part, I never could understand the logistics of to make it make sense. Okay, if you had a daily,
$700 a month?
if you had a, forget the cost. Like, how do you
A driver
use
for
a driver?
date nights? Yeah.
You'd have
I
to
don't even understand.
pre-schedule,
Isn't that just called an Uber?
right?
Yeah, Uber's way better for all of this.
What the heck is this? Just get an Uber Black if you really want a nice
But
one.
like we talked to Dan Martell, he has a driver.
Does he?
Yeah, and so I was like, how is that? There's so much coordination that has to happen with the driver to make sure he's there on time, and is there flexibility,
It's
or is he
almost-
just on standby?
It's almost worse, right? Like you'd rather just like hit a button and an
Yeah.
Uber comes to you rather than having a driver.
I love Uber. I think it's so much easier.
Yeah,
But I guess if you have like a specific car that you always want with
your
things
car.
in
It would be your car that
You know,
ideally they would be
yeah.
driving.
What did scroll down? What did he attribute to number 6?
What is this?
Coffee for the month.
Amazing. Oh, he must own a piece of that too.
Yeah.
Amazing coffee delivered from Gunnison Co.
Okay, so the sauna cold plunge, I think that's pretty epic.
That also didn't
Oh,
make
yeah.
sense. $100 a month. Is that like a membership somewhere?
You'd probably get a membership, but like you just buy one for your house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mini split HVAC, I think you just get central heating and air.
Yeah, but you have that, but you also need to split out the tubes so that you can.
So you can just cool your bedroom only.
Yeah.
No, I just fucking cool down the whole house.
Why not?
not? Just fucking pump it.
You have $10,000 a month to rip.
Pretty good though. Pretty good list.
What else? What else is on the list?
I don't
you
know
guys.
how people are getting away with a cool master bedroom. Like, are their wives allowing this? Like, that's just incredible.
Oh,
to
I've been
me.
having like
That's why I had to get the 8 sleep.
I've been having heated debates lately. Oh god.
Dude, the temperature problem might be the biggest point of conflict in most relationships.
Mina is
I'm
complaining.
telling you, 8 sleep solves this.
Mina's complaining about wintertime, and I'm like, it's wintertime in San Diego.
Yeah.
It's 67 degrees. Like
Yeah.
our baby's gonna be fine.
Oh, we have the same combos. She's like, turn on the heater.
Yeah.
It's cold for the babies. I'm like,
No, like
Dude.
my wife was the same way when I met her. She was like, "You're insane."
Yeah,
This
I don't
is
know
a
how you
fridge-
get away with this.
No, but so I said, "Do me a favor. For 7 days, we're gonna have it as cold as I want, and you bear through it. And if by the end of 7 days you realize you
and if
don't
your
sleep
sleep
better,
score is not higher.
yeah, she slept like a baby. Now it's 65, and she'd be like, "Hey, can you turn on the AC to get it to 64?" Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn,
we
you
s-
primed it.
You have
Oh.
it at 64 degrees in the house?
some nights, yeah.
Okay,
That's
64.
incredible.
I'm frigid.
I'm just trying to get under 70.
Yeah, that's all I want. Mina will tell me it's cold at 73. I'm like, this is a sauna.
Yeah. No,
The tough
Erica's
part about
exactly
64 is
the
getting up
same.
in the morning, though. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
you get out of the covers and you're like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's not
Yeah.
that tough.
Yeah.
when
And I get up naked.
Baby
so it's
screaming. It's not that tough. Okay, so these are good.
Anyone
I mean,
have
like,
any better ones?
I mean, there's no fitness on this.
Well, he has a trainer, a virtual trainer in the Philippines.
I mean, that's
I don't get that one
that's
at
pretty
all.
whack.
Our friend
So you
Jason
just
had one.
literally-
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he'd throw out the iPad and just so the person could see him at his home in his gym in the garage. And
What is
then,
he-
This is why Jason needs to come on the pod,
Yeah,
man.
he's got a lot of hacks.
He's literally Mr. Alfalfa.
But what does he charge? Okay, I feel like that was the lowest one. The Philippines trainer,
What did he say? It was like $10.
$10 a month.
$10, $150.
That's not right.
So I just don't think it's as good. I don't think you're getting
$10 a session actually is about right.
Okay, I just think $10 a session, you're not getting like a great
You could get the
result.
I mean,
because
there's
they're
some
virtual, because they're
jacked dudes. You just see, because it's virtual.
Well, I mean, you could just get like any virtual anything for even cheaper than that. Like, why don't you just like
I just
get a real?
I haven't experienced it, so I don't want to poo-poo it, but I can't imagine a trainer over Zoom. Like, it just feels weird to me. I need someone
Some guy
like
on my phone. He's like, do another one. I'm like,
fuck you.
sorry, internet's out.
who are you,
Just the
dude?
lack of presence is not enough. You know.
I've never met you before.
Yeah.
Shut up. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You guys have any other ones?
Um.
Executive assistant, I still can't.
Yeah, I mean,
figure out.
I have one. I've always liked having one. It's great.
I guess kind of have one. Take that back.
I think get a Tesla.
Oh,
Self-driving should be on there.
Tesla. Oh my
Solves
god,
all your
dude!
transportation.
I cannot get over how incredible self-driving is.
Except you can't be on your phone.
So it's getting much better.
Okay.
They're literally pushing updates like every 2 weeks. So like 2 months ago, like when I first got it, you had to have your hands on the wheel a lot. I haven't touched the steering wheel in a month. Now, with the most recent update, like last week, I'm able to look away a lot more. I noticed. I was like, it wasn't yelling at me as much. I mean, Elon said by the end of the year, you should be able to like, I don't know why he said this, seems irresponsible, but like text and drive, you know, he's like, pick up your phone, which to me does not seem like a good idea to be telling people at all.
Did you see that video of the Waymo that drove into like a active shooting?
Yeah, the police had their guns out. The guy's like on the ground with his like hands above his back, and then the Waymo just drives by, slows down to not run him over, and then just keeps
The
going.
Waymo's just like, I got a place to be.
Excuse me, pardon me.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's get into your AI topics, sir.
Yeah, what do we got? Well, I mean, the number one thing on everybody's mind is there a bubble? This has been the predominant narrative battle debate in the market for a long time now. Mainstream media is very focused on it, and the AI community is very focused on it. I'm really curious about Eric's takes on this because I don't know if you read this. I sent it to you.
Yeah, I did read it.
Okay. And your, kind of like understanding of the narrative has been like the accumulation that occurs will be in the value will accrue with the picks and shovels and the infrastructure for model training.
At first. Yeah, and I'm like, just to be clear, my entire mind energy is focused on this exact question.
Yes.
Are we in an AI bubble?
Yes.
Because everything in my professional life follows this. Like I always have maintained that we're in an AI bull market, not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me and in like doing my job, this is the only thing I'm worried about.
Okay. Great. Then you're the expert on this. Excuse me. A little burp there. So, this for people that don't know, Andrew Ng is like, one of the great leaders of AI, founder of Coursera. He's done a bunch of stuff with Google Brain. I mean, he's a leader. He's a teacher. He's an incredible thought leader. And definitely a voice that's very important and relevant and very grounded kind of thinker. But his purpose of this post was to talk about from an investment thesis perspective, like where the hype is and where things are looking bubbly. In general, I think it's really interesting to look at this idea of like, is this a bubble like the .com bubble in the first place? Mm-hmm. Or is it different because this is such a long-term sort of like civilizational changing technology that we might go through ebbs and flows and corrections, but at the end of the day, it won't be a huge bubble burst and the end and ratification of like a lot of companies. And what he ends up talking about is like, hey, I'm not giving investment advice, but for me, the AI application layer is where I'm most bullish. This is where most of what needs to be built is yet to be built. By definition, applications are built on top of AI infrastructure and technology, and they have to be more valuable than the infrastructure itself, since we need them to be able to pay the infrastructure and technology and API providers. He's seeing many agentic verticalized workflows that he believes will accrue a ton of value He's confident this will grow and that we're in the early innings of it. He says AI infrastructure for inference has low penetration today, but infrastructure providers are already struggling to fulfill the demand for processing power to generate tokens. As most people know, most of this is occurring on an inference layer. A lot of companies are utilizing inference to perform the functions that they need to for vibe coding, for agentic workflows, to build any sort of HR tool, whatever you need to do.
Or any call to the LLM that like a consumer's using is going to be an inference.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
GPT chats.
And a lot of companies are worried about, like, can I get enough inference capacity? Both cost and inference throughput are limiting our ability to use even more. Insufficient supply is a problem. He goes into an example. There's a lot here. But he predicted that we would need more inference capacity because of these agentic workflows. And for those of you that aren't in AI, just so you know, it's like this doesn't happen in one singular action. It's often happening in parallel. So the amount of inference that companies are running or a developer or engineer is running is only increasing exponentially because of the tools that are available and because of what's possible to do because of the improvements in the baseline models that then you're able to apply that inference to perform in the application layer. He's not saying it's impossible to lose money in this sector and that if we end up overbuilding, then providers may end up having to sell some of that capacity, but he thinks investors will do well. Lastly, he says, in a very politically, clean way, I'm happy to see the investment of CapEx going into training bigger models, but of the three buckets, this seems the most riskiest. Open source, open weight models continue to grow in market share. There are companies that are pouring billions into training models that might not see an attractive financial return on their investment, i.e. OpenAI. Algorithmic hardware improvements are making it cheaper each year to train these models. We're now seeing code red by ChatGPT at the model level, like all this stuff happening to try to just increase your improvements from a model level or a UX level to gain distribution and keep distribution on the LLMs in general, on the like ChatGPT chatbot layer, but that he thinks this is where things will break down potentially. Remains optimistic overall, but says he's most bullish on the application layer long term.
Yeah, great write-up, and I'm glad you shared this. Like I said, I'm like supremely focused on this exact idea, and from where I stand, I think he's right in his questions more than his answers. Right? I think he's questioning whether or not we're overbuilding on the infrastructure side. I think everyone's questioning that. I think the fact that we're supply constrained on inference already tells you that we're not in a bubble because we're not overbuilding for it. We're already having too much demand for it. So it's very clear that we're not in a bubble there. I think of these like two curves that are happening. This is like what Jensen talks about. He's like on the data center side, you have like pre-training, post-training, and inference. And then on like the consumer side of AI, you have like LLMs, agentic, and robotics, right? So those are like the curves that are happening. And like we're still pretty early days in certainly the consumer curve, but like even on the data center curve, like agentic is still nascent. So we've only sort of like established LLMs and like what do they call generative AI. We still haven't even like approached into agentic really. I think this is still early days. I do think this is similar to the dot-com bubble, and I was investing during the dot-com bubble, and I remember what it was like, and this doesn't feel anything like it. What I'm trying to say is that we're not anywhere near euphoria stage at all. We're in fear. Like I feel like we're more in fear of AI now
because we'd have to be at the end, which we're not. We'd have to be at the end
be having
this kind of fear.
You feel like you're at the end when everything feels easy and everything is euphoric. Everything is like a no-brainer. That's when you're actually at the end. Right now, when you're like questioning everything, you're like, oh my God, is it overbuilding? And like that already means we're not there
It's
yet.
like the doubt phase.
Yeah,
yeah.
we haven't even like really accepted the use cases for what Andrew Ng is actually describing, which is the app layer. We have not even delved into what the app layer looks like.
Dude, we're in a 3-year anniversary of like talking to ChatGPT 3.0 or 3.5 and saying like, make me a joke in Shakespearean language. Like that was just 3 years ago.
Well said, because like even when I think about the .com era, so we had like the bubble, but this was prior to any app layer. Like this was prior to Google's IPO. This was prior to Facebook's IPO. So the app layer came years later. Maybe that happens here again, but like I still haven't even felt the euphoric run in stocks yet alongside this like, AI bubble yet. So I don't know. For me, I think there's still plenty of room. And the more these guys invest, I think this is key too. It's like the more these guys invest into CapEx, you're like, it's gonna like really spook investors because they're like, okay, so you're spending all this money.
Problem is there's nothing to invest into outside of the Mag 7.
It's picks and shovels. It's hyperscalers right now.
You can't invest into inference or app layer.
Yeah, there's no app layer. There's no inference. Right? I mean,
They're all
inference.
private companies.
Inference
It's only
is going to be
VCs
the
investing in them.
hyperscalers still.
Yeah.
And it's basically going to be
But my point is you can't even invest into the other aspects of,
You can't.
of this if you wanted to.
Right.
Unless
So-
you're an investor, like
so
an angel investor.
Is there like over investment on the infrastructure element of it? I think only if you're considering this like very narrow view, which does matter. Like because during .com we like over invested for 1999 2000. Internet became transformative over our entire lives. But in that very narrow view, did we overinvest narrowly? Yes. But here, I don't think we have.
Yeah, we assumed that certain like app layer use cases would be relevant immediately, but like they found out that shipping 40-pound dog food via e-commerce was highly unprofitable, and that radio on the internet was like ready to be adopted by like tens of millions of people, and it just wasn't. So maybe we make that, but I don't know. I'm in your boat. Like, I don't think it's close.
I'm actually interested in talking to you about how you envision the app layer of AI, because like my current worldview of AI is like it's biased by like what OpenAI presented at their latest big convention, where they like used within ChatGPT, like they hooked in Zillow and Peloton.
They just made a big U-turn on that
okay, so what?
2 days ago.
Okay, so what are you seeing now?
Well, they literally, it could be that it was leaked intentionally and that it's just like a political game, or it could be that it was real. It's probably like 60-40 that it's real. But Sam Altman sent code red email to the whole company a year ago. Google sent code red email saying we're losing. Look at them now. Nick was right, by the way. Hell of a call. Like Google's turnaround is phenomenal. They're the best model on the market. Their app sucks. If they figured out the user experience, the UI UX of Gemini, nobody would use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like it is the worst UI in the world, but the model is so damn good. The image generation model is world-class, state-of-the-art. No one's even close. So ChatGPT, OpenAI is sitting there going like, okay, they surprised us again. They've been beating us for a while. We need to narrow focus. And there's a lot of takes out there. One of the challenges with Sam Altman is that he's a startup guy. Startup guys are great at going 0 to 1. And he has a ton of incredible startup experience. He was literally the president of Y Combinator, or whatever you call that role. He's seen everything. He has incredible pattern recognition. He knows how to lead and invest and allocate capital. But Google's been at this game for decades. The amount of messy data that they've played with for decades and how to sort that and create the best experience possible is why people use Gemini that are deeply invested in AI. And Gemini's market share just keeps growing. So code red OpenAI, hey, let's not worry about shopping anymore. Let's not worry about these integrations and apps. We need to create the best fucking chatbot possible, and we need to keep market share. And this whole thing about like advertising and all that, we're probably going to have to shelf it. We're going to have to figure out a different business model. All we're focused on is not letting Google burn us to the ground, because they will. Google will outspend them to the fucking
Well, and
ground.
Google has like a bigger war chest. They can outspend them.
They will. They will. I mean, it's all out war. So what you're finding is a narrowing of focus back to the model layer. Now, OpenAI is going to have to make a decision. Do we want to present a new image generation model that is better than Nano Banana Pro? That's going to be hard to do. You can't tell the difference anyway right now with Nano Banana Pro. So they're just going to look for just being as good and showing that we can still be multimodal. Because the beautiful thing about Google is the multimodality is incredible.
What do you
they're
mean
now
by
competing. The image, the video, the text.
The live version of it is wild. If you've never used it.
What do you mean by live version?
Okay, so I mean, should I just do it now?
Can you do it now?
Can I do it now?
Share your screen. You can share your camera.
All right, so
the input processing. It's incredible stuff.
Okay.
What's Nick working on?
I need to kill the podcast so I don't share the audio.
That multimodality is a huge factor in Google.
So Gemini, what am I looking at here?
So Nano Banana, just so I'm clear, is just
Google's image generation.
It's like Mid-Journey.
Yes.
Sound panels on the walls. There's a gold side table between you. What would you like to know about the image?
What do you think of this guy?
Yeah, what's that guy doing?
He's giving a peace sign. He seems to be in a good mood. Is there anything else you'd like to know about him or the scene?
Tell me about his deep psychology. I need to know him deeper.
Well, it's hard to know too much about his deep psychology just by looking at him in this one moment.
Well, I could tell you a thing or two.
I can describe what I see.
This
He
is gonna
appears
get
to be
weird.
relaxed and waves at the camera with a friendly gesture. His casual attire might suggest...
Anyway, that's live where
Dude,
you
that's
can, if you need to
wild.
fix your car, you just show it and it tells you what to do.
I mean, to be fair, like OpenAI can do this too.
Yeah.
But they're just progressing at such a rate after their code red. The consumer wins.
Yes.
This is amazing for us. Like this battle of like being the best AI model is so good for consumers. This is glory days for consumers.
Dude, all the dollars that they're spending are ending in a benefit to the user.
It's amazing for
And
us.
this shit is free. Like
yeah.
I use the free version of ChatGPT, and it's amazing. Like how far we've come from like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, or whatever, when we were talking about like, hey Eric, like have you found a use case for this stuff in your in your world?
You gotta get on Gemini Pro.
Every goddamn day I'm using this, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to get a Gemini Pro account or even a ChatGPT.
No,
Pro
I did
account.
trial it. I honestly noticed no different. I guess like I'm not doing many heavy lifts. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
I did do a trial on Gemini Pro, and essentially same.
3 just came out.
The UI is actually horrible. Like
Horrible.
you have to try to learn what you can do, because you can do so much more than what is like immediately obvious when you open it up. I saw someone, the like head of Google Labs, say, "We got a great UX like deployment
Yeah, I
coming,
saw
can't
that.
wait." And some guy was like, "Just copy the
If they
ChatGPT
literally-
pixel for
if they
pixel."
literally copied ChatGPT's UI UX pixel by pixel, it'd be game over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's so annoying.
So,
But anyway, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's code red for OpenAI. It's narrow the focus. Can Sam Altman focus the ship and build a generational company?
can I like zoom
that's
out?
a deep question.
Can I zoom out a little bit, because like all I see, I love that you're giving like granularity, but I think what I see is that 2 or 3 competitors, if you include Grok or whatever, how many competitors
Claude,
there
yeah.
are. Claude, yeah, Anthropic. You have all these competitors that are delivering immense value to the consumer. Their competition leads to even more value to the consumer, to the point where it's all good, baby. It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter. Like at the end of the day, if I'm using ChatGPT or if I'm using Gemini or Anthropic or Perplexity or whatever, it's going to give me an answer that's pretty fucking good to whatever my query is. So like, who cares? Like,
I agree. As a consumer, yes. And then zooming to the investor perspective, like what we're just going to find is this, who knows how long this battle is going to continue. And then eventually like Anthropic just becomes goated at coding. And they're
Yes.
like the de facto, like, and then, you know, that's what's happening to OpenAI. They're like, they were so proud of Codex, and they're like, you need to use us for your coding needs, and they're trying to increase their API and enterprise usage because Anthropic's winning over there. So they're kind of like this ping pong ball trying to win everywhere, when really they probably just need to focus on a very specific use case. And ultimately what the world probably looks like is like, you're an engineer, you probably love Claude. You do image and creative stuff, you love Google. You love your baseline like assistant, you love ChatGPT. And you just got to narrow it in. And from an investor perspective though, like OpenAI needs to be, I had this insight this morning. I'm like, the reason for them that they have to be number one is that they need to go public. And if they go public as number two, it's not going to be a great IPO. Investor confidence will be low, and they need to get the public's money. If they don't get the public's money, they're going to run out of money, and then they're definitely going to lose. So it's a real existential crisis there right now.
Yeah, I mean, like a few thoughts. Like one, Google could just not show ads for
ever
a decade and just like burn capital, and then you have this ad experience one that you kind of bothers you, and then this one that doesn't, and they just let them burn all their money.
Yeah, having more money is like two scuba divers being underwater, and you have a bigger tank than the other guy. You can just outlast them.
Yeah, and like basically turn ChatGPT into Yahoo, right? Like search engines existed before Google. I think like what's more important for the consumer side is like who's going to capture your memory the most? Who's going to capture all of your preferences? Who are you going to tell the most so that they can remember your name, your
But what's the big deal? You can port over your memory.
No, you can't.
So
Yes,
being
you can.
early,
No, it's a switching cost.
So being
There's switching
early
costs.
matters, because like I talked to ChatGPT to a level where I'm asking ChatGPT about a football game, and they're like, based on the volatility of the football game, I could tell that you're going to like one team more than the other because you're an option trader. I'm like, hold on, I'm just asking about football.
Have you done a digest of your memory?
Yes, I asked it, tell me what you know about me. And
Like not your
not
custom
in the
instructions.
Oh no, not in the
Okay,
in the
so I
settings.
just
You
did
can
this the
go
other
and see
day.
what it
No,
remembers.
not that.
Ask it.
Because it's actively capturing memories that aren't in your memories.
Right, they're there.
Most
but,
people don't know this.
Yeah.
So if you tell it to give you a detailed, comprehensive digest of everything it knows about you based on the memories it's been accumulating, it gave me like 5 pages. It was
Interesting.
actually crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
But I could just take that and pop it into Gemini.
potentially, but I do think like the reason Google's feeling good now is because they have the distribution, and that'll continue to be the case because you're not forgetting that like eventually when you go to get a car insurance quote, you won't like go to 5 different sites. You'll tell your LLM like,
Yeah.
give me the best car insurance.
But those LLMs are going to compete for the marginal cent.
No-
Like,
oh
I think they're both going to be equally capable.
no, but what are you going to use? You're going to use the one who knows all your information. Like
Okay,
you just tell
so-
it.
You're going to use
You
don't have to tell it
your
anything.
daily
This brings
driver.
up a good
Have
point.
you ever applied to
I
get
actually
car
have
insurance? You have to enter so much information.
I have a
in.
new take. I think a winner is going to be the one who partners with Apple.
Or Google has all your data in your
Google is
email.
most likely to.
Okay, so Google might be most likely to.
Yeah.
They have in the past. They were like the default search
And they just
in the
finally
browser.
got rid of the head of AI at Apple.
But yeah, I think like Apple has been very clear that they're like not participating in this wave of technology. So whomever they choose as their like preferred LLM partner is going to be like a kingmaker.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
keep in mind, like, there's a whole ecosystem of, like, you're familiar with advertising, but there's a whole ecosystem of, like, lead generation from, you know, every insurance category you can imagine, mortgages, refinances. I mean, like, some of the largest industries in the world are based off, like, a lead generation ecosystem. And I think that UI layer of going to all the different travel sites will just be collapsed into one. And, you know, people won't be paying to be on, like, you know, the top of Google search results. They'll be paying to be included into Gemini's ecosystem, in which they'll pay per genuine lead.
Like once your iPhone chooses for you, it's
over.
kind of game over.
Yeah.
It's over. And it's not going to be Apple's. They've already like indicated that they're not going to play.
Yeah.
Or they just realize that the model business
Which is so frustrating because
unprofitable.
XAI Grok came out of nowhere late in the game, and they have a highly competitive model. Like, it's such an inept, like, I don't know what's going on there. I mean,
actually-
the head of AI just stepped down. 9 months of just like, what is happening here? And finally they
going back
Tim
to
Cook was like, you're out.
Going back to this analogy of like two scuba divers going underwater and how much oxygen they have in the tank. Google has more oxygen than OpenAI, but do they? Because OpenAI has like extra oxygen feeding in from NVIDIA, extra oxygen feeding in from Microsoft, Oracle. These are like massive businesses that are going to keep OpenAI going longer than I think Google can keep itself going. So I'll just say it right now. I'm on team NVIDIA and OpenAI. I think this recent like Google ecosystem pump is like an awakening that like, holy shit, there's like this TPU ecosystem.
It is the most optimistic point. It's like the honeymoon.
And I think
period.
like you're going to quickly realize like, holy shit, no, NVIDIA is better than you and it's bigger and like this is just FUD.
What do you think about like who's ever first to grab the most memory? Like about individuals?
Yeah, I like it.
Because if you're saying the models have like marginal improvement, then isn't the one who has distribution and can just like know as much about you as possible?
Yeah, like I can already tell you from your exact prompt that like my switching cost is pretty high. Like I am like ingrained in ChatGPT because it knows me very well and I don't want to switch. So
when I started using Gemini, it's kind of like an uphill battle. I'm like, no, this is my company and this is not my company, but this is the product we sell. It's not this company. This is what I actually prefer.
Oh, it's a real thing. I just don't think it's going to be like a real like Google is going to figure out a way to like port your memory over.
Like if it gets,
I don't see that as like a moat.
if the advantage gets significant enough, I will obviously switch. But
Like think about like in SaaS, like how many times you've just like switched like a CRM and they're like,
Okay.
here's our plugin for moving over seamlessly.
Okay, so I agree with that. It's possible that like someone could like figure out a way to port your memory over.
Yeah.
Then it's like who makes it easier for developers, aka companies, to integrate into the ecosystem? Because like if you go to ChatGPT, who has to biz dev all these travel companies, all these mortgage companies, they could definitely do it. Or is it the company that already has them as advertised already and just like puts a new UI in the advertising? It's like, would you like to get paid per lead from Gemini? Like,
Yeah, it's just literally a new traffic source.
it's just like,
And they already do distribution of an ad network. It's not new to them.
yeah. So I think those are interesting. It's like who captures the memory the most, and then who makes it easier for like companies or developers to like integrate. If we say that the app layer is like gonna,
I don't think OpenAI
consolidate.
would have a problem getting those relationships going though. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like a typical like N-tier application structure is you have your data layer, your business logic layer, and the UI layer, and there's all these UIs. But what you could potentially like forecast is that all the UIs, aka websites, go away and they become part of the business logic layer for Gemini or ChatGPT, and so then it matters like who has the data on you and who has the UI layer with the most distribution, and then can they convince all these other UIs to like fold underneath them into the business logic layer?
What would you call like the Web 2 proxies for that hierarchy that you're describing?
What's Web 2?
Or just like, what would you describe as like the internet, like who are the...
Oh, like who am I thinking about? Like
Yeah.
Travelocity, like think about every travel company, every insurance, like brokerage website that you use, like all the other tools that you use, like basically where you click after Google. Like you go to Google and then you click somewhere.
So what do you describe it as? Like a data layer?
Data layer, business logic layer, UI layer.
Okay, so yeah.
And everything you use.
So make this dumb for me.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about when we're talking data layer, business logic layer?
Data layer in AI is a little different, but data layer is actually the models themselves, because they're every part of it, right? So like the data layer could be like X AI has the data of X, and it also has the data that you input into the UI layer.
Right, because everyone can download the internet, essentially.
Right, everyone downloaded the internet already. The business logic layer, you could argue, is the model itself, and the inference, right?
It's like the weights, whatever.
Yeah, and then the UI layer is what you interface with, and that has the actual distribution.
So
And
the moat would be on second and third, because you can't have a moat on like the internet. Everyone's downloading the same data.
Yeah, and you're already seeing it with shopping. Like, do you find yourself going to ChatGPT more to do shopping research? Most people would say yes.
Yeah, but like I feel like, back to Armand's point, like the AI app layer is just going to look more like something that's hooked into the way that we interface with AI currently, which is like, if I'm a ChatGPT guy or I'm a Gemini guy, whatever it is, I'm going to be just like interfacing with this AI. And then throughout our normal discourse, it's going to be like, oh, well, yeah, based on what we're talking about, here's like a good link for you.
No, no.
So I think that'd be a
It's
good
not,
stepping
because-
stone. Like Travelocity or Hotels.com will have their own AI layer because everyone has to have one. But eventually, when we realize that, like, oh shit, like these 4 models have all the distribution, like I could just give them my API pipes and let them like interact with make an API call to figure out what the price is for this user. And over time, you're like, okay, am I going to use Gemini that knows my seat preferences, my meal preferences, my travel preferences, or am I going to, use some?
Okay, so what's the alternative? Like to the app layer, I guess. The app layers that you're considering, like all these different companies outside the models, like I'm saying they're not going to have a UI layer anymore, potentially, right? There's a world where they don't need a website anymore. They just I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but like I think the fact that like Zillow has all of this data, it's still going to be used by the AI. We're just going to access it through the LLM.
When you say the AI, do you mean like these 4 models?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Then we were talking.
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing.
But like it was like that's how it was demonstrated at OpenAI. It was like these apps are going to just be like hooked in to the LLM. So I feel like the apps are already built. Like the app layer on AI is like for the most part already built. You have other apps that like are nascent. That like what's Armand
What
building?
do you mean by already built?
Okay, so like I mean, if we want to shop for a home, Zillow already exists. The LLM can access
the Web 2
that.
apps.
Well, there's a small distinction there is that they can scrape Zillow, but if they are not allowed to access the API, because like if you're Zillow, you're like, fuck, I'm giving away my connection with the consumer.
Because otherwise the LLM can just build their own Zillow.
Or just switch to Redfin, right? Like Redfin could be cheaper to call that data or pay them more.
Okay, so I think what I want to talk about is like there's a distinction between the app layer that exists today versus new functionality that AI allows us to do. Like Armand with Steno is building things that could not exist in like the previous iteration of the
Yes,
internet.
and he's a B2B company, so I think that's important to note because that's a whole different category. Like there will be plenty of Stenos, tons of applications that let you do things, but they're servicing B2B
Right,
versus
but-
B2C.
Okay, true. But even still, like I just don't think that prior to AI, Armand's business could exist. Like he can't create.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So like Zillow can exist prior to AI. AI will just hook in Zillow. It will hook in. It will like hook in
I
all
see.
of these other businesses. Like the app layer already exists for AI.
What's Zillow's business model, by the way?
I think they tried for the most part just taking fees from agents to like.
Okay,
take
so
the
like I
listings.
imagine that's more profitable than just literally, charging like a tenth of a cent per API call or like a hundredth of a cent per API call.
Right.
So it's just like I think that's actually I think you're understating how dramatic of a change that would be for a company like Zillow is to like.
To, like,
Okay,
I can definitely see a lot of Web 2 app companies utilizing chatbot providers as distribution channels.
Yeah, I feel like they would end up paying
Definitely.
a fee, kind of like how app guys are paying Apple App Store a fee for just like here's distribution,
And then
you take some
certain
fee.
AI app B2C companies will also utilize chatbots as distribution channels to give consumers a taste of what's possible in that limited form factor of a chatbot. So like Canva is a great example of like being able to do quick things on the fly, and eventually maybe the UI layer is more abstracted on Canva. But at the end of the day, you're running a business and there's so many nuanced things that you do in your application. that you can't funnel in through an application that lives as an API through ChatGPT.
Agree. And
You're limited.
And I think even in the case of Zillow, you probably still have your standalone app, but there would be like a way that you maybe get like led there, you know, like it's just everything just starts with the LLM and directs you in the same way that Google does now.
Yeah.
But it won't direct you. It'll just do it because it knows all of your preferences. It knows like everything you've bought or have been interested in.
Right.
It knows that you have like a family of these ages and they've grown to this age and what those people might be particularly interested in. And maybe knows about your home and your car. And it's like, man, once it knows everything, it's like, fuck, like why else would I switch? Especially if these like models converge.
I agree. I
over
think
time.
the big point for me is that the app layer already exists. Is like my big
Yes, but do they give up their relationship with the consumer is the biggest question.
right.
I just need to make sure I understand because I don't think the app layer exists within the AI app layer. Like we're in inning 0 of like application layer.
Totally
companies.
agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
you're
yeah.
not saying that.
Like what I'm saying is that Steno is doing something different, right? Like what
Not
you're
just Steno, but like it's only been probably a year and a half, 2 years that like we have these entire new generation of
Yeah,
app
I'm
layer
using
companies.
Steno as an example of what AI can produce that couldn't be produced before the AI revolution,
Okay.
right? Like you are an example of something that Web 2 couldn't do.
Right.
But I think that AI app layer, in terms of dollars, at least for the next 5 years, is going to be like old school apps that link in
Transform.
with AI. I think there's going to be, just in the way that like 1999 was, in 2008, Facebook IPO'd, and that was like an amazing app layer for the internet. But it took from 1999 to 2008, we're in such the early innings that like the app layer of AI is going to look like the internet that we know.
Well, can I ask you guys if
I don't know.
let me see if you agree with this. So like think about how many apps you use now. Let's call it like over 100 on your phone. How many websites you browse on like a weekly or monthly basis? Do you agree or disagree that like in 5 years when we reach the next like level of like agents and whatnot, that might consolidate down to like 10 or 3?
Yeah.
Do you, Armand?
I think I missed the what kind of apps?
So like right now on your phone as a consumer, forget as like a business
Like
or an
all of
investor.
my apps.
Yeah, you
got
might have
all
like
of your
50
apps.
apps on there.
You have 50 apps you touch on a monthly basis, 50 websites you touch on a monthly basis.
Yeah, I can see a consolidation. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that to me is like the really big question.
Yes, I feel like it's going to be 3 apps. It's going to be Gemini, ChatGPT, and like those.
Why wouldn't it be?
And those are going to be your access points, your operating systems to access all of these other apps that also exist.
If we're going to go there, I would take it a step further. I would say we don't have any apps.
Okay, but like there's a company that you interact with that is your intermediary.
No, I think the company you interact with is your phone. I think it's Apple. Like if you really want to stretch out this thesis, I think at the end of the
And the
day,
inference is on your phone, you're
it's
saying.
Siri. I could probably generate applications that I need to. Like, I mean, there's so many startups working on something that I think is really cool. Which
no,
is like
I think this is like this is a
generative
pipe dream.
UI.
This is like
no,
15 years. No way.
no. I think generative UI
No, I just
is
make my
very,
own app. I'll just.
No.
Well, no, it's
Hold
saying
on.
like it'll auto-generate a
Generative
UI for you.
is real, and so I think like your phone itself will tap into that technology. If you need a UI to perform a certain function, it'll provide that for you. But the application is the operating system of your phone, and the primary modality is natural language.
Yeah, so I agree. Like, if it's that or like these 3 apps, but I think the big question over like the next like 5 to 10 years is like, what happens when you don't have a one-on-one relationship to like all these companies and services and business models? Like, you don't have a relationship with OpenTable anymore. Like, do they fucking collapse? And do these models get so big
They're not
enough?
going to have their normal email marketing campaigns and all that kind of stuff.
No, I wanna-
or
I
they
wanna
just become
know-
data companies.
No,
like
I wanna
that's all
know
you
what
are. Is like,
I want to know what you think, because this is like a domain that you're familiar with. Like, I don't know how to even monetize what these guys have to begin with. So, like, what is the risk to traditional business model on like Web 2 internet when LLM can come on and like access your customer directly, but using it through your data or your app? Like, what's the real threat?
I mean, it depends what your business model is. Like, okay, there's a ton of websites that you think you're buying car insurance from when in fact they're actually like pinging like 300 carriers, and it's this like ping tree, they call it, deciding which one to match you with, right? And they get paid when they match you with someone. That business might be okay because their initial pitch to OpenAI is like, listen, I got all of the back-end providers plugged in. I have the logic. You just send me the customer information. I send you back an answer, and I pay you. I pay you for it. And that initially will be probably how it evolves, and those business models will be okay.
Yeah. Are you concerned it hurts the businesses?
Yes.
Yes.
How does it hurt the businesses?
Well, like Zillow, for example, they make money when people go on their page and be like, I would like to buy this home. And then it's like, hey, how about we have an agent meet you there? Click this button to say yes. And then
Why wouldn't ChatGPT do the same function?
Exactly. So
That's
now
why it
Zillow's business
kills-
model collapses.
It kills the app in the same way that the iPhone, like it was like the number of apps that the iPhone killed. It was like, I don't know, like
calculators.
Compass,
Yeah.
calculator,
Yeah,
et cetera,
yeah.
et cetera. Like, I think the LLM is just going to swallow
Mark
all of that.
Andreessen, software eats everything.
Yeah. So the LLM is going to become your operating system, but also the app layer, unless I can understand what Nick's talking about, where the app layer can protect its customer data.
Yeah, and like the term, well, I'm not even saying that. Like in the case of the lead generation company, like in the terminal values, that there is no middleman anymore.
I guess
Yeah.
like I don't understand a lead generation company as well. Like, can you make it more tangible with like something that I don't know? Like, I just don't use.
I mean,
like,
Amazon's an interesting one,
Okay,
right? They're
Amazon's
an
a good one.
intermediary that has like definite infrastructure, operational like advantages, right? They can get you the product in like less than a day.
right.
But essentially what they are is like an aggregation of all these end sellers. But if like people are going to go to ChatGPT and Gemini to be like, hey, what product should I own? And, maybe they end up buying Anthropic, or maybe they have a deal with Anthropic because they're a major investor and they're going to share data with them and let people purchase using Amazon. Is like, what happens to a company like Amazon? They probably have a big enough moat where they have infrastructure advantages and
The moat
Prime.
is the delivery in
Right.
2 days.
Right. But like,
What about if this whole thing gets Sorry, but
No,
I'm gonna
please.
throw a huge rock in this. Like, what if everything gets decentralized and these, like, you guys are assuming that there's this core centralization of a few AI companies that swallow everything at the base layer, but it's also just as likely that you have a personal AI, or that you have an infinite number of AI super gods to choose from that are designed for you and made for you and not owned by any. Like, if Bitcoin is indicative of anything, and Ethereum as well, it's like sovereignty. And I think in the future, where you have this like pervasive nature of like my data is being accumulated by everybody, you would want that data to be owned and managed by you.
so then in your case, you're right. It's the phone, and maybe it's like an open source.
Why wouldn't I run my own
Okay,
personal LLM on here?
because the compute
I don't have the
power,
relationships,
the compute
and I don't-
power is dog shit from this phone versus like having data
it's
centers
not.
stacked far, wide, high, like how Jensen is stacking Blackwells on top of Blackwells the size of Manhattan,
He's
and you
not
have a
doing that
phone.
for me. He's doing that so that these inference companies and app layer companies can run their applications.
And maybe he runs a
these
licensing
training model
agreement, but
companies
it's
can
still
run their
it's still
applications.
centralized.
To me, I just need to be able to run Llama locally on my phone
and not make a server call, which is the
Right. So
like that's going to be the
I do think that you're making a great point that like compute does move to the edge, and I'm thinking about that as an investor wholeheartedly. It's like, what happens when you don't make data center calls for inference anymore, and it's just all done to the edge? I agree with you, but
what
like,
happens?
well, I think companies like Qualcomm and Broadcom
They
end
win.
up winning because they are focused on
How does
computing
it
at the
not?
edge.
How does it not end up there?
No, it does, but I still just think that they're gonna use model weightings that are owned by 3 companies or 4 companies. It's gonna be very centralized. Like they're not gonna have their own models. Like you're not gonna have your own model in your phone that's got the parameters of what's going on in the data center.
We already have them.
I think you could fit some open source models on a phone, but I don't think it could handle the inference. without touching a server.
Well,
But maybe in the future.
yeah. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with like the new like Moore's law, which is just like making the
Man, talk about an iPhone super cycle where they're like, this chip has it so that
exactly
Gemini, Google, OpenAI cannot store your
Dude,
data.
maybe that's like Apple's out card on this whole thing. Is that
I'm
like
just thinking the same
it's
thing.
like perf per flop is like the new iPhone metric, and it's just like this can run the biggest model on earth.
And don't worry about like porting over your memory because like, you know, we kind of already have it. It's
Yeah.
on your phone. We don't have it. It's on your it's on your phone.
Yeah, just give permissions from your apps.
Yeah. The other part will be like, will they be able to like create an ecosystem? Probably, you know, like of developers of companies. The big question is like,
It really would be so fascinating for Apple to win this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It
just
would be
curious,
so
like which massive
interesting.
company is going to decide to be like, fuck it. Like, here's all my APIs. Here's all my data. Like, just give up their relationship with the consumer to one of these model companies. And then that will be like, oh shit, it's happening.
So like
Like-
in China, they have the super apps, right?
Yeah, exactly. It would
This
be like
is
WeChat.
this is like a window into our future. We're gonna have like the super app that like can handle every component of your life.
Yeah, Elon was talking about on this recent podcast, like, you know, originally I wanted X to be this like super app, and I'm like, dude, yeah, that's the LM, that's Grok. It should be that. Like, what?
Yeah, but he means that it's like your Uber, your chat, your everything.
Your
like
wallet.
What X is supposed
It'll
to
be your wallet.
have been.
Could be your money manager.
You can
Yeah.
get a loan. You can like get financial advice from this thing.
And you
like,
won't even know that like your custodian is Fidelity.
Right.
You just won't know. Like,
That's what I'm trying to say is that the app layer is already existing. It's like built in. Like it will use Fidelity, but through the LLM.
We live in the most interesting times.
but their margins will collapse.
Collapse.
Absolutely, they'll be almost like commoditized at
Because
some
they're
point.
going to pay the app store fee to the operating system.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Wild.
the most interesting.
But that's
of
why the
times.
CapEx spend is not stopping because
Have-
you got to
yeah.
win that fucking race.
Yeah. I have been like thinking I have my idea backlog about like how lead generation will change. Like you no longer have to like pay to acquire a user, get them to enter in all this information and then offer them things as they tell you stuff. Like whoever figures out like how to pipe in or whichever LLM says, hey, who wants to pipe in, you know, like data. And anytime someone asks us related to car insurance, I'll just
You'll
get
be
this
the
information for you.
preferred provider. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't even know if that's a good business model because like over time you just get commoditized and your margin shrinks, and then
Yeah.
at some point ChatGPT is like, well, we don't need your like little
Right.
ping tree thing. Like everyone's going to come to us.
No, it's a good question, but it's a huge win for the consumer.
Yeah.
No. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Should we talk about women?
What? What are we talking about?
Women?
We have more?
It's 7:10.
Okay. How you feel?
It felt good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
You want to talk about women? This is a pretty spicy topic.
I
Should we
think-
end with spice or end with AI?
I think we're at a good spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a question from the audience.
Okay, let's.
It's my other podcast I'm starting. Nick, do you think F1 forced McLaren to do that stupid pitch strategy this past weekend so that the last race of the season would decide it and get higher ratings? No, but that would make for spicy drama.
I don't understand
What
was
did you
that?
just say?
Sorry, I got a question from the audience. I had to answer it.
What did they do?
Oh God, they made the dumbest move ever. Like mathematically, like Formula One's an engineering and strategy sport with just drivers. The drivers kind of matter less, and they like was a clear strategy bumble. They gave away the race, which made Max get closer for the last race of the season, and it was like such a dumb move. Like basically, all the other teams made this like strategy move, and they didn't. Everyone's like, "What are they doing?" And I don't want to go into like the details of it, but
No, you do because you just want to do an F1.
yeah,
podcast.
exactly. So I got to go and start my new podcast after this. We should wrap up.
I would do an F1 podcast if we could be in the paddock at every race.
That would be the goal.
Okay, so I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
down for F1 pod.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out with Jay-Z and Beyonce and not even hang out with them. I don't.
just need to be around them.
I have nothing in common.
Yeah.
Nothing in common. Nothing to say to him.
What I did realize,
You wouldn't talk to Jay about hip hop?
No, I would just be in the presence of Jay.
because there were celebrities there, and there's no other echelon you get to where there's more privacy. So like you're in there, and
That's
there's
the max.
celebrities and the CEO of Visa, and like because.
Yeah, so you reached the pinnacle, and it felt great.
And our mutual friend, he's a master networker. He would not. I didn't talk to him the whole time. He's just zigzagging around the room, like seeing
Shaking
what
hands.
connections he can make and
Kissing
like,
babies,
yeah,
shaking hands.
the whole time. Made like 20 friends.
You don't have anything to talk to Jay-Z about?
No.
Reasonable Doubt?
I wouldn't even ask for a photo. I would just be like, yeah, I was right there with Jay-Z.
I want to talk to him about
I
Reasonable
did want to ask
Doubt.
him how he fit the helmet on with all those dreads.
Dude, his hair is huge.
That's what you guys would talk about with Jay-Z?
Yeah, because it would be like
I talked to Beyonce about her outfit, like how long it took her to get into it.
she did wear a Louis Vuitton, just the
Leather.
most ridiculous
Leather.
outfit ever.
Like
Describe it a little bit.
just boobs, mostly.
It was stitched to her exact specifications, and one tighter stitch would have blown the whole thing open. Like if they would have torqued
Dude,
that like
leather,
one more notch.
Sport,
Yeah.
like boobs out, like
They do
very-
this hot lap thing, and we got in line to do it, and we're like, "Hey, can we go for a hot lap?" Where one of the drivers, or an F2 driver, an F3 driver, takes you around the lap as fast as possible in like a sports car, like a Ferrari or a Mercedes. And we're like, so they're like, "Listen, this is the Vegas race. There's usually a lot of celebrities here, so like, you got no fucking chance." And we're like, where are the celebrities? And we go down, and Beyonce, Travis Scott, Jay-Z, Michael Rubin, and a bunch of other people waiting in line, and we were following them, and I was like, "Hey, is there one more?" And they're like, "No, dude, get the fuck out."
Where's my boy Biebs?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there.
He's falling off.
Okay.
You know, our boy went to go see Messi recently.
Our boy.
Alcaraz.
Oh, Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was pretty cool.
So Messi's going to the final of.
Messi's going to the final. He got his 47th trophy. Most decorated footballer of all time. I mean, just add it to the list.
Yeah, stands to
you know?
reason. Stands to reason. He's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
and he
mean-
might get his 48th.
Yeah, well, I've
They
been
beat Vancouver.
collecting MLS trophies. It's like,
Brother, 45 of them were in Europe.
yeah, I know, but this one, it's like.
First of all, that team went from last place to first.
it's the MLS, dude. I mean,
It's last place to first. Ronaldo
you know who was-
Ronaldo went to the first place team in
You know-
fucking Dubai.
You know who
and
else was
took
in
them
it?
Down.
You know who was just in it? San Diego, a team that didn't exist last year,
That was
just made it
amazing.
to the fucking semifinals.
Now we can agree. That was amazing.
This league fucking sucks.
No, that was amazing.
San Diego's in the semifinals. It didn't exist last year.
Yeah,
this
we're
league
good.
sucks.
We're good.
Yeah, we're
We're the
so
best.
good.
We're the best.
We're so good.
We're the best. Cinderella's story.
Yeah.
It's like when what was that English team that went from relegation? I mean, from championship to winning Leicester City. Yeah, Cinderella's story, bro. Anything is possible. You have to believe in San Diego FC.
I won't be here next week, so it's actually a good thing
No.
Steven's coming.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
It'll be us three.
Yep.
Maybe a guest. No, we'll do us three.
Mhm.
But after that, I think we want to start incorporating the guest situation.
Very excited. Let's get the list going, guys.
Yeah. Anybody has any recommendations of who
Oh,
we
yeah.
should talk to?
Pop into the Discord, pod topics, start dropping guests. We can reach out to anybody, but obviously we're gonna start with our network. It's a little easier, but let's get a guest list going, guys. That would be great. Would love to know who you want on the pod. And do the things, guys. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, do all the things. Helps the channel a lot.
Yeah, I kind of want to get more into like a life alpha.
Me too. Yeah.
Like goals, wellness, health, fitness, like that kind of alpha.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing about the Alfalfa community.
yeah.
Huge thing. Credit card rewards.
Yeah.
I had that question today in the Discord.
Be a great one.
Yeah, apparently the Robinhood card gives 4%,
3%.
3%, all cash back. Like that's pretty amazing.
Cashback is
Hard to beat.
how you actually make money off
Yeah,
an
it's hard to
e-commerce
beat.
company.
No,
it's just this whole grand operation.
You know, the
to
hard
make
thing
point
is like
credit card
I'm actually
points.
hooked in with the godfather of credit card points.
you gotta have that guy on.
But these guys like are
Can we get him on?
no, they're reluctant to share the alpha like this because it's
The
so
more you share, the
it's
more it gets-
so good. You know?
Oh, come on. Can that be an Alfalfa After Dark premium?
Yeah, that could be like a us three.
We should definitely have like a 20-minute premium segment at the end for people like that and Alpha like
This guy
that.
bought a house using credit card points.
Okay, he has to come on. He has to come on.
It's unbelievable.
He has to.
We'll just tell him no one
We'll
watches.
gate it. We'll gate it to a 50 people, 100 people.
It's unbelievable. This guy.
All right. Good
All right,
stuff.
guys.
We'll talk
Thanks
about
for
women some
joining.
other
Thanks for
time.
everyone in the chat. Like the video if you haven't already. I won't see you next week, but the team will be here next Wednesday, 5 p.m. PST. Thank you. Bye.
Adios.
Peace.